Chapter 1643. No matter how bad things get, she's still your biological daughter. How can there be overnight animosity between father and daughter? Sigh. Mother. Mudaid lowered his head, not knowing what to say. His mother was a strong-willed person. Once she decided on something, she had to let him do it. If he did not do it, his mother would be angry and find fault with him. That would be very difficult. At this moment, Mudaid's newly married wife, Luo, too, swayed her plump body and ran over to Old Lady Mu and Mudaid. Hearing the conversation between Mudaid and Old Lady Mu, Luo, Tiu asked curiously, "Mother, is that Dade's daughter?" Old Lady Mu snorted. "Of course. Haha, she's so pretty and looks good in clothes." Luo Tiu was envious. She thought that the material of Mu Lan's clothes must have cost some money. Women were vain. Luo Tiu also hoped that she could be as rich as Mu Lan and buy a set of clothes made of that kind of material. She would definitely look prettier when she wore it. Haha, that's why I said that girl has struck it rich. Old Lady Mu muttered. Luo Tsuyu's eyes turned. She tugged at Mudaid's sleeve and said to him, "Husband, I think mother's right. After all, she's your daughter. You gave birth to her and raised her. That's a great favor. The person who sold her was Mu Hin, not her. If you say that she doesn't want others to be filial, then Mu Hin is unfilial. But you didn't do anything to her. Why shouldn't she be filial to you?" With Luo Tsuyu's reminder, Old Lady Mu immediately thought it through. Yes, Tsuyu, you're smart and quick-witted. No matter what you did previously, that was to Mu Hin. You didn't do anything to her. How could she be unfilial? Luo Tsuyu continued. No matter what, if we get some money back, our family's life will be better. Mother, I'm pregnant with Dade's child. The fortune teller also said that this child will definitely be a son. So I have to eat well during this period of time to nourish my body. Then I'll give birth to a grandson for our Mu family. You can also leave an heir for Dade. Mudaid's eyes moved slightly and landed on Luo Tsuyu. He glanced at Luo Tsuyu's stomach. Thinking that it was his son, Mudaid felt that he should treat Luo Tsuyu well. He should try his best to satisfy whatever Luo Tsuyu wanted to eat. It was only because of the child in Luo Tsuyu's belly that he could not let Luo Chueying suffer. He had been looking forward to having a son for decades. The people in the village liked to laugh at him for not having a son. This was one of the reasons why he could not raise his head. As long as he had a son, others wouldn't laugh at him like that in the future. This was also the reason why he still married Luo Tsuyu at this age. At the end of the day, he could not afford to be without an heir. He could not afford to not have a son. Fortunately, Luo Tsuyu's stomach was not disappointing. Not long after they married, she was pregnant. The fortune teller also said that she was pregnant with a boy. Luo Dade cried tears of joy when he heard the news. So no matter what Luo Tsuyu wanted, he would try his best to satisfy her. Giving birth to a son for him was already the greatest sacrifice she could make for him. The reason why they came to Yang City today was that Luo Tsuyu said that she was pregnant and was gluttonous. She wanted to eat meat and some snacks. That was why Mudaid and Old Lady Mu agreed to bring her over to buy. Chapter 1644. After old Madame Mu heard this, she said to Mudaid, "Dade, your wife is right. Even if you don't think for yourself, you have to think for your wife, right? It wasn't easy for her to bear you a son. You can't treat her unfairly. No matter what, you have to get some money so that you can buy things for your wife to nourish her body. Only then can she give birth to a fat son and give your branch an heir. When you're old, you'll at least have a son to send you off, right? Look at your two good daughters. They're treating you like this now. When you're 100 years old, do you still expect them to send you off?" Mudaid frowned. He understood what old Madame Mu said, but as a man, he was too embarrassed to put down his pride. Luo Tiu saw that Mudaid was conflicted and said sarcastically, "All right, mother, don't say any more. Husband is just worried about his two daughters and can't bear to ask for money. If he doesn't want it, then don't. Anyway, I'll suffer a little and eat less. I'm just afraid that my body won't recover well. When my son is born, I don't know if he can survive without milk." When Luo Tsiyu said this, Mudaid's brows immediately knitted together. Comparing his face, his wife, and the son in his wife's belly, his wife and son were more important. Otherwise, why did he spend so much effort to sell his daughters? Wasn't it just to give birth to a son while he was still fertile? All right. I'll try asking for it later. It'll be best if I can get it. If I can't, then forget it. Luo Tsuyu's face lit up. She smiled and said to Mu-Dade, Dade, you're still the one who cares about me and the child the most. Mu-Dade smiled embarrassedly. Looking at Luo Tsuyu's face, which was piled up because of her smile, he felt uncomfortable. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't have much money and was too old to marry a good wife, he would never be willing to be with such a woman like Luo Tsuyu. Compared to Mulan and Mu-Hin's mother, this Luo Tsuyu's appearance and figure were much worse. No man would be interested in her, but he had no choice. In order to give birth to a son, Luo Tsuyu could give birth to a son for him. Why would he think so much about other things? That's more like it. Seeing that Mu-Dade had relented and was willing to go over, old lady Mu was very satisfied. As long as he was willing to go over, it would be a success. She continued to persuade him, and Mu-Dade would naturally understand. Mother, are we still going to buy meat now? Luo Tsuyu looked at old lady Mu and asked. If he didn't buy it now, the fresh meat at the meat stall would be gone. Old lady Mu nodded her head heavily and replied, Buy. Of course I'll buy. I promised you that I would come and buy, so I have to weigh some back. Luo Tsuyu answered happily. Okay, mother, let's go. Yes. When they arrived at the meat stall, old lady Mu continued to bargain with the owner of the meat stall. At this time, most of the people have gone back. I don't think we can sell much meat. If you have too much meat left, it's easy for it to go bad in this season. If you sell it tomorrow, it won't be worth much. Why don't you sell it to me at a lower price? Chapter 1645. Old lady Mu rolled her eyes and thought for a while. A copper coin discount seemed a bit too little. The boss said with a straight face, I say, Granny, if you don't want to buy it, then leave quickly. 1 copper coin is already the biggest concession I can make. I'm just a small business, and I can't make much money. If I give you too much of a discount, how am I going to make money? Old lady Mu hurriedly responded, Okay. You said a copper coin discount. Okay. The shopkeeper responded. Then give me half a gene. Half a gene is 6 copper coins and a half. Forget about the half. I'll give you 6 copper coins. Old lady Mu said, her eyes shining. Hearing old lady Mu's words, the butcher's mouth twitched, and he glared at old lady Mu fiercely. How could this old woman be so cheap? He said that a caddy of meat would be cheaper by 1 copper coin. She still wanted to weigh half a caddy of meat, and even cheaper by half a copper coin. How could there be such a person? How could there be such logic? Seeing that old lady Mu was not sincere in buying the meat and had been bargaining for a long time, the butcher waved his hand at old lady Mu and said, Go. If you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. I'll give you a copper coin discount for a gene of meat, but half a gene of meat is not a copper coin discount. If you want to buy it, then buy it. If you don't want to buy it, then forget it. Old lady Mu's face darkened and looked a little embarrassed. Luo Tsuyu was anxious. If this went on, how could she buy meat for her to eat? What if she didn't even weigh the meat when she went back after making a trip today? Then wouldn't her wish today be in vain? Mother, the shopkeeper's price is generous enough. Let's just buy a gene of meat. If we continue to bargain, he won't sell it to us. Old lady Mu frowned and thought for a while. She gritted her teeth and said, Okay, then weigh a gene of meat. Originally, old lady Mu planned to weigh half a gene of meat for Luo Tsuyu to eat alone. Now she thought that if she weighed another half a gene, the whole family could eat it. Otherwise, the family would definitely be greedy when they saw Luo Tsuyu eating alone. Okay, shopkeeper, weigh a gene of meat for me. The boss nodded reluctantly. However, he thought that if he could sell as much as he could, it would be better than not being able to sell it and waiting for the price to drop the next day. So he weighed 1 caddy for old lady Mu and took the 13 copper coins from her. At the same time, something unusual was happening in old Zhao's house. Liang Jinxiao took Tian and Dao Du to Zhao Yun'er's new house to play. Zhao Ping also followed. The reason why Zhao Ping didn't go back to her in-laws' house early in the morning was because she hadn't eaten the rooster. She still couldn't let it go. Secondly, she thought that Zhao Yuner would definitely have a lot of delicious food at the Chicken Gate banquet today. Even if she wanted to go back to her in-laws' house, she would have to wait for the banquet at noon before going back. Wouldn't it be a waste to have an extra meal? Zhao Ping said that she would leave after eating the banquet. Liang Jinxiao thought that Zhao Ping wouldn't be bothered about eating the rooster, so he agreed. If Zhao Ping still didn't leave after eating, it wouldn't be too late for him to chase her away. There were still many people who came to Zhao Yuner's new house to play. Some of them couldn't help but want to experience the feeling of living in a big house. They were waiting for Zhao Yuner's family to move in, so they would feel embarrassed to come over and join the fun. After all, the owner was here, so they couldn't disturb her. Chapter 1646. However, the moment of danger arrived. Suddenly, she heard the villagers' screams. "Oh, save me! Save me! The tiger is coming down from the mountain. Oh, it's really a tiger. Oh my God! Why is there a tiger in broad daylight? It's a big white tiger. This tiger is so big, isn't it mighty? What should we do? Run, run. If we don't run, we'll lose our lives. It's coming, it's coming. What should we do? Do you think we can escape?" In an instant, the villagers who came to Zhao Yuner's new house to join the fun began to panic. Their screams echoed throughout the courtyard. Liang Jinxiao was shocked when she heard that a tiger was coming. However, when she came to her senses, she saw that it was indeed as the villagers said. A big white tiger was gradually approaching their courtyard. This tiger was bigger than the one that Zhao Yuner brought back from the mountain last time. The villagers all knew that tigers were mighty. Basically, if they encountered a tiger, they would lose their lives. Now that the tiger was coming, they were in great danger. If they did not escape in time, they might become ghosts under the tiger's jaws. Their bodies would be torn apart and then eaten by the tiger. Roar! The tiger's loud roar was deafening. The roar was so loud that it covered people's hearts with a layer of meaning. Daodu was so scared that he cried and hid behind Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao quickly patted Daodu's back and comforted Daodu. "Daodu, don't be afraid. Grandma is here. Grandma will protect Daodu." Although she said that, Liang Jinxiao was also scared out of her wits. Her voice trembled a little. Encountering such a big tiger, she was just a woman with nothing in her hands. How could she protect Daodu and herself? The only thing she was worried about now was that the tiger would attack Daodu and Tian. If something really happened to her, it would be fine. The most important thing was the two children. She could not let anything happen to the two children. Liang Jinxiao carried Tian and protected Daodu at the same time. Her brows were tightly knitted together. Faced with the situation in front of her, she really didn't know what to do. What she didn't understand was how a tiger came out of nowhere and ran into her courtyard. Could it be that her family was too unlucky? Why didn't other people encounter it? As the white tiger approached, Liang Jinxiao could not help but step back. He didn't dare to run away now. If he alarmed the tiger and it pounced on him, he would die even faster. Liang Jinxiao's heart grew colder as he watched Tiger's footsteps step by step. What should I do now? Who could save her? Who could save the two children? White Tiger glanced at the people in the courtyard. There were a few villagers, Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Ping. All of them were trembling in fear as they stared at White Tiger in horror. Some of the more timid villagers directly fell to the ground and wet their pants. Their legs couldn't help but tremble. In the face of a ferocious animal, these people were too weak and didn't have the slightest ability to resist. "Boo-hoo! I don't want to die." Zhao Ping couldn't help but cry. She was very regretful now. If she had known that this would happen, she wouldn't have stayed for Zhao Yuner's wedding banquet, because she was greedy. If she had returned to her in-laws' house earlier, she wouldn't have come here to join in the fun, and she wouldn't have encountered this situation. What was the point of eating something delicious when she was risking her life? Chapter 1647. Because Zhao Ping was crying and talking, the white tiger's eyes were fixed on Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping's heart suddenly tightened, and her legs trembled even more. Could it be that this tiger wanted to eat her? If only she hadn't made a sound just now, she would have attracted the white tiger's attention. Otherwise, the people in the courtyard might not necessarily eat her. Roar! The white tiger bared its fangs and roared at Zhao Ping'er again. Zhao Ping'er was so frightened that she fell to the ground and almost peed her pants. What should she do? What should she do? Was she going to die now? She didn't want to die. Could the heavens come and save her? Why was she so miserable? Liang Jinxiao saw that the white tiger's target was Zhao Ping'er, and her heart tightened. No matter what, Zhao Ping'er was her daughter. If she was eaten by the tiger, as a mother, she would definitely feel terrible. Moreover, Zhao Ping'er was still so young. Was she going to die before her own daughter? The other villagers saw that Zhao Ping'er had attracted the white tiger's attention and were slightly relieved. The tiger's stomach was definitely not that big. It should be full after eating one person. If it ate Zhao Ping'er, nothing would happen to the others. The white tiger slowly moved towards Zhao Ping'er. Zhao Ping'er was suddenly scared out of her wits. She sat there helplessly, not knowing what to do. Liang Jinxiao was so anxious that she stomped her feet and hurriedly said to Zhao Ping'er, why are you in a daze? Hurry up and run. Zhao Ping'er only came back to her senses when Liang Jinxiao shouted at her. She trembled as she got up from the ground and hurriedly ran in the direction of Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao's heart suddenly jumped. This wretched girl, why did she run towards her? She didn't know where she ran to. She didn't know what to do now. What if Zhao Ping'er ran to her and got her into trouble? It was a small matter if she was alone, but there were 2 children. It was inconvenient to run with 2 children. Wouldn't it put the 2 children in danger? The white tiger's gaze was still following Zhao Ping'er. When Zhao Ping'er rushed to Liang Jinxiao, it also rushed towards Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao suddenly panicked. This white tiger was very dangerous. What should she do now? Mother, I'm scared. As Zhao Ping'er said, she hid behind Liang Jinxiao and pushed Liang Jinxiao forward. So Liang Jinxiao suddenly bumped into the white tiger. Liang Jinxiao looked at the white tiger, which was close at hand, and her face turned pale with fright. What made her the most unhappy was that Zhao Ping'er actually pushed her out. At such a dangerous moment, Zhao Ping'er was too selfish. She only cared about herself and never thought of others. Even her mother was not worth mentioning in Zhao Ping'er's eyes. In the face of danger, she chose herself and didn't care about her anger. Liang Jinxiao thought that she had been so good to Zhao Ping'er before, but Zhao Ping'er treated her like this. She suddenly regretted it. If she had known that Zhao Ping'er was so heartless, she would have broken up with Zhao Ping'er as soon as possible and never continued to contact Zhao Ping'er. Unfortunately, it was too late to regret now. Now she might become the white tiger's food. Chapter 1648. However, the white tiger did not immediately pounce on Liang Jinxiao. Instead, it paused in front of Liang Jinxiao for a few seconds and stared at Tian, who was in Liang Jinxiao's arms. Liang Jinxiao thought that the white tiger was after Tian. Her heart suddenly tightened, and she held Tian tightly in her arms. Even if she died, she did not want anything to happen to Tian. The white tiger must not stare at Tian. Such a small child, so tender and cute, had not even grown up yet. It would be a pity if she was eaten by the white tiger. Liang Jinxiao's forehead could not stop sweating, but she did not dare to act rashly. She was afraid that if she moved, the white tiger might come forward and hurt her or Tian. The white tiger circled Liang Jinxiao a few times, but it did not intend to eat Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao did not know the white tiger's intentions. She only felt that it was very scary. What should she do if this went on? She could not continue to stand like this and let the white tiger circle around her, right? Zhao Ping'er saw that the white tiger was finally not staring at her. The stone in her heart was put down, and she felt that she had been reborn and saved. As for Liang Jinxiao, although she was a little worried, she did not feel guilty about her actions. Zhao Ping'er whispered to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, just give the baby to the tiger. Let eat her, and you'll be fine." Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Ping in disappointment. She did not know how Zhao Ping had the nerve to say such a thing. How did she give birth to a bastard like Zhao Ping as a daughter? Now that she finally saw Zhao Ping's true colors, she should not pay attention to such a bastard, let alone feel sorry for her. Even if Zhao Ping had become the white tiger's food, she should not care. You beast, shut up. Liang Jinxiao scolded. Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said, Mother, I'm just concerned about you. She's just an irrelevant little bastard. Why do you care if she lives or dies? Keeping your own life is the most important thing. Liang Jinxiao almost fainted from anger at Zhao Ping. She actually had the nerve to say such things. He said it was for her own good. If he really cared about her, he shouldn't have pushed her out just now. Since she had done such a thing, it meant that she didn't care about her mother at all. You don't have to be so hypocritical. Liang Jinxiao suppressed the anger in her heart and replied. If she was lucky enough to survive this time, she would never acknowledge this daughter of hers in the future. Her life or death had nothing to do with her. Roar! The white tiger roared again, as if it was angry. Liang Jinxiao closed her eyes in despair. She reckoned that she and Tian would be eaten by the white tiger together. To Liang Jinxiao's surprise, Tian was suddenly taken away from her hand. Liang Jinxiao opened her eyes abruptly and saw the white tiger holding Tian in its mouth. Liang Jinxiao immediately reached out to snatch Tian back. However, to Liang Jinxiao's disappointment, the white tiger turned around and ran away with Tian in its mouth. Tian! Liang Jinxiao exclaimed in shock. This tiger was really going to attack Tian. What should she do now? If Tian was taken away by the tiger, it meant that she was going to be eaten by the tiger. Tian had met with mishap in her hands, and it was her fault for not protecting her well. If such a tragic outcome really happened, she would feel guilty for the rest of her life and would feel that she owed this child. Chapter 1649. When the villagers saw the white tiger running away, they knew that they were out of danger. As long as they were not the ones who died, they felt very lucky. Although it took away a child, the child was not theirs. They would not be too concerned about things that did not concern them. Liang Jinxiao was a woman. How could she catch up with the white tiger? She said to the villagers in the courtyard, Can everyone help? Help me chase after the white tiger. My little niece has been taken away by the white tiger. If we don't catch up, she will definitely be eaten by the white tiger. What should we do? Liang Jinxiao spoke very anxiously, and her voice sounded like she was about to cry. The villagers did not dare to chase after the white tiger. It was already very lucky that the white tiger could leave. Otherwise, who knew if the white tiger would come back to eat them after eating the baby? Sister Liang, I can understand how you feel, but you have to know that the white tiger is very powerful. Who among us can deal with it? It's better not to chase after it. If we do, we will lose our lives in vain. That's right, Sister Liang. It's better not to chase after it. The child has a hard life. This is her fate. We can't win against the white tiger. We can only accept our fate. Now, even if we have the tools, we can't snatch Tian back from the white tiger. Isn't snatching something from the white tiger equivalent to courting death? These people were all persuading Liang Jinxiao not to throw her life away. They could not sacrifice themselves to help Liang Jinxiao snatch the child back. Liang Jinxiao's heart sank. Were they really going to let Tian be eaten by the white tiger? Such a young child. She was abandoned by her biological parents when she was born. How many days had she lived until now? She was a fresh and cute life. Why did God treat her like that? She was just a child. How big of a mistake could she have made? How could she end up like this? The more she thought about this, the more Liang Jinxiao's tears flowed uncontrollably. Zhao Ping glanced at Liang Jinxiao. She really did not understand why Liang Jinxiao was crying. Tian was not her biological granddaughter. It was not a big deal. If she was eaten, so be it. Could it be that when someone else's family died, her mother had to run over to mourn for them? Zhao Ping knew that Liang Jinxiao was angry with her, so she pursed her lips and held back her words. When White Tiger rushed out of Zhao Yun'er's courtyard, Little Black suddenly rushed out and blocked White Tiger's path. It roared at White Tiger fiercely. Woof, 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 woof. Little Black seemed to be telling White Tiger to quickly put Tian down. However, the White Tiger only looked at Blackie with contempt and didn't care about it all. Blackie was afraid of the White Tiger, but when it saw the Little Master that the White Tiger was talking about, it had to protect the Little Master no matter what. Woof, 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 woof. White Tiger ignored Little Black and prepared to take a detour. However, Little Black suddenly ran towards White Tiger and prepared to snatch the person from White Tiger. Unfortunately, Little Black was not as big as the White Tiger. After it rushed up, it was knocked away by the White Tiger and fell to the ground, unable to get up. This time, it was a little painful. In addition, the injury from last time had not completely healed. Little Black was in so much pain that its legs were trembling. White Tiger immediately ran away. Its speed was very fast, like a gust of wind. Little Black barked a few more times behind White Tiger. Seeing that the situation was not right, it endured the pain and quickly chased after White Tiger. For a moment, Zhao Yun'er's courtyard fell into silence. Chapter 1650. Daodu was scared out of his wits. Although he was not the one who was eaten, he was still traumatized by the experience. She was a child after all. Even the adults were scared. So how could a child bear it? Daodu walked to Liang Jinxiao in tears and tugged at Liang Jinxiao's sleeve. Grandma, little sister was taken away by the tiger. What should we do? Can we save little sister? Will little sister come back? Liang Jinxiao wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and patted Daodu's head. All right, Daodu, don't cry. Grandma doesn't know what to do now. Let's wait for your mother to come back. When your mother comes back, we'll slowly think of a way to save Tian. Of course, she was just comforting Daodu. Liang Jinxiao knew very well that the chances of the child being taken away by the White Tiger were very small. How could they save her? When Zhao Yun'er found her, there might only be a pile of bones left, or even bones. Tian, this child was too pitiful. Whoa. Daodu couldn't help but cry. When he thought that Tian might be in danger, Daodu felt very sad. In fact, he had never felt so sad before. Several villagers who had experienced this incident were still in shock. This kind of experience of life and death made them feel scared. Several people left Zhao Yun'er's courtyard one after another. In a short time, the news of the White Tiger coming down the mountain and taking away the child spread throughout the village. Because of this incident, the village fell into panic. Since the White Tiger could come down the mountain the first time, there would be a second time and a third time. This time, it was Tian who was taken away. Who could guarantee that it would not be their child next time? Therefore, all the villagers warned their children to be careful and not to run out of play. Otherwise, they might be eaten by the White Tiger. The children who liked to play around, under the threat and discipline of their parents, all hid in their own houses and did not dare to take half a step out. Liang Jinxiao could not come back to his senses for a long time. He was so anxious that he stamped his feet and hurriedly sent someone to inform Mu Yinfeng. Zhao Ping, who didn't dare to stay in Shuilan village any longer. She didn't take advantage of Zhao Yun'er's wedding banquet, so she quickly packed her luggage and rushed to her mother-in-law's house. Right now, whatever delicacies were placed in front of her was not as important as her own life. Without life, one would not be able to enjoy any blessings. When Mu Yinfeng heard the news and rushed back to the village, Zhao Yun'er and Mulan had just returned from Yang City. The smile on Zhao Yun'er's face suddenly stiffened when she heard that Tian had been taken away by a tiger. She asked in disbelief, "Mother, what did you say? Tian was taken away by the White Tiger?" Liang Jinxiao cried and nodded. "Yes, Yun'er, it's all my fault. I'm your mother. I didn't protect Tian well and let her be taken away by the tiger." Zhao Yun'er comforted Liang Jinxiao. "Mother, don't blame yourself. What's the use of protecting Tian when she encountered a white tiger? You don't have the ability to protect her at all. Now is not the time for us to be sad. We have to think of what to do." Zhao Yun'er frowned and thought for a moment. The white tiger that Liang Jinxiao was talking about was probably the one that she and Mu Lianfeng had met on the mountain. If the white tiger ate humans, the child would definitely eat them too. The reason why it held Tian Tian in its mouth was probably because the baby's sweet smell attracted the white tiger. Chapter 1651. Zhao Yun was now worried about two problems. First, the baby had been taken away. She was afraid that the white tiger had eaten her. This beast was very wild. Naturally, it would not keep its prey for too long. Second, the mountain forest was so big. It would not be easy to find Tian Tian. If they were unlucky, they would not be able to find her even after a few days and nights. At that time, even if she was not eaten by the white tiger, such a small baby would starve to death if she did not eat for a few days. The more she thought about it, the more upset Zhao Yun'er became. Thinking about Tian Tian's cute little face, it was really sad that such a small child encountered such a thing. Zhao Yun'er comforted her, but Liang Jinxiao still felt guilty. Liang Jinxiao sighed heavily, her face full of worry. Zhao Yun'er knew that Liang Jinxiao was still upset. If it did not find Tian Tian, Liang Jinxiao would blame it on her. Okay, mother, don't sigh. Now is not the time to sigh. We have to think of a way quickly. Finding Tian Tian is the most important thing. Liang Jinxiao nodded heavily. Yes. Yun'er, you're right. The most important thing now is to find Tian Tian. Yin, let's go up the mountain together to look for her, okay? Zhao Yun'er thought that Liang Jinxiao was probably confused by her anxiety. She actually wanted to go up the mountain personally. It was dangerous on the mountain, especially when they went deeper. The periphery was fine, but the deeper they went, the more beasts they would encounter. Who knew if they would encounter danger? She was nimble and ran fast. She might be able to avoid them, but Liang Jinxiao could not. Liang Jinxiao was pregnant now. How could she withstand the torment? Zhao Yun'er then said to Liang Jinxiao, Mother, just stay at home and take good care of Daodu, Mu Lianfeng, and I will go up the mountain to look for him. Yun'er, but I'm worried. I can't sit still at home. Liang Jinxiao said with a frown. Zhao Yun'er sighed softly. Mother, you won't be of much help even if you go up. If anything happens, Mu Lianfeng and I will still have to take care of you. The meaning of Zhao Yun'er's words was self-evident, that Liang Jinxiao was a burden to her. Liang Jinxiao lowered his head. After a moment of silence, he finally nodded in agreement. All right, Yun'er, go ahead. Do you want your father and the others to go as well? The more the merrier. Zhao Yun'er shook her head. Mother, there's no need. It's too dangerous on the mountain. Father doesn't need to come with us. Sigh. All right then. Then be careful. Got it, mother. Zhao Yun'er and Mu Lianfeng hurriedly packed up and brought along some self-defense tools. The two of them then headed up the mountain. Just as they reached the foot of the mountain, they saw Little Black limping down the mountain. Little Black had suffered such a serious injury last time and hadn't recovered yet. It seemed that he was injured again this time. Zhao Yun'er looked at Little Black with a trace of heartache in her eyes. Little Black, how are you? Are you all right? Zhao Yun'er asked gently. Woof, woof, woof. Little Black barked a few times at Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er saw how anxious Little Black was and knew that something was wrong. She asked, Little Black, what's wrong? Woof, woof, woof. Little Black barked again and hurriedly ran up the mountain. Zhao Yun'er seemed to have sensed something and hurriedly said, Mu Lianfeng, hurry up and follow Little Black. Little Black should know where Tian Tian is. Chapter 1652. The two of them followed behind Little Hay and walked into the forest. After walking for about half an hour, Little Hay suddenly stopped. His black eyes turned and he licked Zhao Yun'er's fingers. Zhao Yun'er understood what Little Hay meant. Little Hay wanted to say that Tian Tian and the white tiger were here. Zhao Yun'er squatted down and patted Little Hay's head. She said to Little Hay is awesome. You actually found us. I'll reward you with a drumstick later. Little Hay wagged his tail and continued to lick Zhao Yun'er's palm. Mu Yanfeng's brows became more serious. There was a cave in front of where the two of them were now. It should be the white tiger's nest. However, although they knew that Tian Tian was here, the two of them did not dare to act rashly. The white tiger was too dangerous. The two of them were not able to deal with it at all. The first time Wu Yinfeng killed a tiger, it was because that tiger was not as powerful as this white tiger. Under special circumstances, he was lucky enough to kill it. But against this white tiger, Mu Yinfeng did not have much confidence. Mu Yinfeng had already suffered under the white tiger's claws last time. This time, no matter what, he could not act rashly. Otherwise, not only would he not be able to save Tian Tian, he would also lose his life. Zhao Yun's brows knitted together. She did not know what to do. Could it be that they had to wait here for an opportunity? Zhao Yun looked at Mu Yinfeng, wondering if Mu Yinfeng had a way to save Tian Tian. Yinner, let's not act rashly. Right now, we are in the tiger's mouth. Who knows if there are other tigers inside? If there is more than one white tiger, then we will be in trouble. Zhao Yun felt that Mu Yinfeng's words were very reasonable. Who knew how many tigers were in this tiger's nest? If they were unlucky and met a few more, then she and Mu Yinfeng would become the white tiger's prey. Right now, they could only use their wits. They could not act rashly and lose 2 lives for nothing. Okay, let's go to the tree and wait first. Zhao Yun'er said. Yes. Mu Yinfeng nodded in response. Before going up the tree, Zhao Yun'er patted Little Hei's head and said, Little Hei, find a place to hide. Don't come out if there's nothing, okay? Little Hei wagged its tail to show that it understood. Then it turned around and found a bush to hide in. Little Hei couldn't be seen in the bush. Zhao Yun, and Mu Yinfeng went up the tree one after another and waited. Although they were very anxious, at this moment, they could only can't wait. After waiting for 2 hours, there was no movement in the tiger's den. Zhao Yun couldn't sit still. Now, were they really going to continue waiting like this? Ow! Let me think. Mu Yinfeng pondered for a moment and said, Why don't I lure it out? That's too dangerous. Zhao Yun hurriedly shook her head. She felt that this method was not advisable. If I don't lure it out, I don't know when the white tiger will come out. Even if Tian Tian is not eaten, she will be hungry. Mu Yinfeng thought of Tian Tian, and the worry in his heart was no less than Zhao Yun. Although Tian Tian was not his biological daughter, after this period of time, Mu Yinfeng had already treated Tian Tian as his own daughter. Zhao Yun felt that the current situation was difficult to get off. No matter which choice she made, she would be worried. Chapter 1653. Little Hei's barking helped Zhao Yun, and Mu Yinfeng lure the white tiger out. This way, Mu Yinfeng and Zhao Yun had a chance to go into the cave and take a look. After Little Hei barked a few times, they heard a deafening tiger roar coming from the cave entrance. Roar! Just hearing this voice was enough to scare people. Thinking of how powerful the white tiger was, the two of them did not have much strength and could not easily provoke it. After a while, they saw a white tiger coming out of the cave entrance. It was the one Zhao Yun and Mu Yinfeng saw last time. The white tiger came out of the cave entrance and glanced at Little Hei. Zhao Yun's heart suddenly tightened. Little Hei would not be in any danger, right? After all, Little Hei was just a dog. How could it fight against a white tiger? Zhao Yun wanted to shout, Little Hei, run! But she was afraid that the white tiger would notice if she shouted. Not only did the plan to lure the tiger away from the mountain fail, but it also failed to save Tian Tian and implicated her. Fortunately, Little Hei seemed to have heard the words in Zhao Yun's heart and quickly ran away. The white tiger chased after Little Hei. Although she did not know if the white tiger would catch up with Little Hei or if Little Hei would be in danger, Zhao Yun did not want to care about it. Little Hei was so smart and was not an ordinary dog. It should be able to deal with it cleverly. Now, it was better for her and Mu Yinfeng to quickly go into the cave to check out the situation. After Little Hei barked, only one white tiger came out of the cave. There should not be other tigers, or else they would have come out together. At this time, the cry of a baby came from the cave entrance, but quickly disappeared. Zhao Yun's heart skipped a beat. This cry was Tian Tian's. Since Tian Tian cried just now, it meant that Tian Tian was fine. It was already a miracle that she was not eaten by the white tiger. Mu Yinfeng, let's go into the cave quickly. Mu Yinfeng responded loudly. The two of them came down from the tree together and ran in the direction of the cave entrance. The cave was not very big, and they walked in after a while. However, what surprised Zhao Yun and Mu Yinfeng was that there was a white tiger lying inside. This white tiger was slightly smaller than the previous one, but it was still very strong. The two tigers stayed in the cave. One was a male, and the other was a female. The one that chased after Little Hay was a male tiger, was a female this time. The one in the cave was a female. The most surprising thing was that the white tiger didn't seem to have any intention of hurting Tian Tian. Instead, it let Tian Tian lie on its chest. Tian Tian guessed that she was hungry. She held white tiger's breast with her small hands and sucked on it with a smack-smack sound. The white tiger looked at Tian Tian as if it was looking at its own child. But when Zhao Yun and Mu Yinfeng rushed in, the white tiger's eyes suddenly became very tired. When it looked at Mu Yinfeng and Zhao Yun, the two of them felt a chill in their hearts. The two of them were stunned. The white tiger could pounce on them at any time. They did not dare to move half a step. The current situation made them even more anxious. They had already come in, but who knew that there would be a white tiger? However, the white tiger was not easy to deal with. It was hostile to the two of them. As long as they took a step forward, it could get up at any time and pounce on them. What should we do? Zhao Yun asked in a low voice in Mu Yinfeng's ear. Directly snatch it? It seemed impossible. Whether they could deal with this white tiger, Zhao Yun knew her own limits. Mu Yinfeng did not answer. He also did not know. Chapter 1654. For example, when the tigress had her own cub, it was like this. Right now, this tigress treated Tian Tian as its own child. Not only did it not eat Tian Tian, but it also had to feed Tian Tian. If they were to snatch Tian Tian away now to the tigress, it would be the same as snatching away its child. It would never allow it. If they were to forcefully snatch Tian Tian away, they would be the ones to get hurt and suffer losses. They were afraid of angering the tigress. Originally, the tigress did not intend to hurt Tian Tian, but in the end, it changed its mind and ate Tian Tian. If that happened, it would be too late to regret it. If Tian Tian was not lying on the tigress' chest and drinking milk, the tigress would probably have gotten up from the ground and attacked them. Seeing that Zhao Yun and Mu Yinfeng had not left, the tigress raised its fangs, as if threatening Zhao Yun and Mu Yinfeng to quickly get out of the cave. If they did not leave, it would not be polite. Zhao Yun and Mu Yinfeng looked at each other. At this moment, there was movement outside the cave. It seemed that the tigress was coming back. Yin, let's hurry up and leave first. It should be fine tomorrow. We'll find a chance to come again next time. In order to comfort the two of them, Mu Yinfeng pulled Zhao Yun's hand, and the two of them hurriedly retreated from the cave. Sure enough, not long after the two of them came out, they saw the tigress return and enter the cave. They did not retreat in time. They were afraid that if they bumped into the white tiger, the situation would be very bad. Yin, the plan to lure the tiger away from the mountain can be used once, but it won't work a second time. Although it's a tiger and not a human, it's not too stupid. It's completely useless for us to waste time here now. Then what should we do? Tian Tian, are we not going to save her? Mu Yinfeng sighed and said, I want to save her too, but it's not something that can be done just because I want to. This white tiger has gone back. How can we deal with two tigers? Why don't we go back now and think of a way? Tian Tian won't be in any danger at this time. That tiger should treat Tian Tian as its own child. Zhao Yun thought for a while and had no choice but to follow Mu Yinfeng's arrangement. There were only two of them. They were too weak to save Tian Tian. It was better to go back and think of a way. All right, then let's go back. Yes. The two of them quietly walked around the entrance of the cave and headed down mountain. Not long after, they bumped into Little Black. Just now, after Little Black lured the white tiger away, it hurriedly hid, so it was not caught by the white tiger. If it wasn't for the fact that there was another tigress in the cave, Tian Tian would have already been rescued. However, because little Hay had been running too vigorously and his previous wound had not healed, his leg was injured and his wound was torn a little. Seeing little Hay like this, Zhao Yun'er felt very distressed. She quickly carried little Hay up and didn't let little Hay continue to walk. When he returned, he still had to treat little Black's wounds and bandage it with herbs. He didn't want little Black to jump around for the next few days. He had to recuperate properly, otherwise little Black would be in danger. Sometimes, an animal's life was much more fragile than a human's. After it was injured, it had to be taken good care of. Yun'er, let me carry him. Mu Yinfeng reached out and took little Hay from Zhao Yun'er's hands. Now that little Hay had grown up a little, it weighed more than 10 to 20 caddies. It was indeed very heavy in her hands. After Mu Yinfeng took it, Zhao Yun'er's hands suddenly became lighter. The two of them continued to walk down the mountain. The two of them walked tiredly for half an hour and finally walked down the mountain and returned to the village. Chapter 1655. Heir Presumptive, Yun'er, why are you back so soon? How did it go? Did you find Tian? Is she all right? Liang Jinxiao asked anxiously. Zhao Yun'er and Mu Lianfeng both frowned. Seeing that the two of them did not return with the child, Liang Jinxiao thought that Tian had been eaten by the white tiger. He immediately burst into tears, and tears flowed out uncontrollably. Seeing that Liang Jinxiao was in tears, Zhao Yun'er hurriedly said, Mother, although we couldn't save Tian, she's fine now. Liang Jinxiao did not understand Zhao Yun'er's words. How could she be fine if they couldn't save her? The tiger was very ferocious. Wouldn't it eat Tian? Zhao Yun'er comforted Liang Jinxiao with a few words and told him about the situation that she and Mu Lianfeng encountered when they were looking for Tian. After hearing Zhao Yun'er's account, Liang Jinxiao opened his mouth in shock. He had lived for decades, but this was the first time he had heard of such a situation. The tiger took the child away, but not only did it not eat it, it even fed the child milk. Did this mean that Tian was really fine? The tears that had been flowing uncontrollably finally stopped. Zhao Yun'er tugged at Liang Jinxiao's hand and said, All right, mother, don't cry. Let's slowly think of a way. Sigh. All right, that's all we can do now. As long as the child is fine, we have a chance to save her. Yes. Zhao Yun'er nodded. It was already past lunchtime. Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua were anxiously waiting at home and were not in the mood to eat. Zhao Yun'er and Mu Yinfeng were a little hungry after going up and down the mountain. Zhao Yun'er said, Mother, let's think of another way. Let's hurry up and prepare something to eat. Everyone hasn't eaten lunch yet. You must be hungry, right? All right, Mother will prepare it. All right, Mother, just make something simple. All right, then let's make a few bowls of noodles. It's more convenient that way. All right, Liang Jinxiao responded and turned to go into the kitchen. They made do with some vegetarian noodles for lunch, but it was not too shabby. Liang Jinxiao took a few eggs out of the chicken coop. Since they had a few chickens, they received a few eggs, enough for their family. Normally, the people in the countryside wouldn't eat the eggs laid by other people's chickens. Instead, they would save the eggs to exchange for money or use the eggs to exchange for other daily necessities. Now that the third branch's life was getting better and better, Liang Jinxiao didn't think about being thrifty in this aspect. Basically, the eggs that the chickens laid were eaten to nourish the children's bodies. Frying. After Liang Jinxiao fried an egg for each of them, he added some lard and half a pot of water. He started to heat it up and then sprinkled a few handfuls of noodles into it. He estimated that the noodles would be enough for a family. In a few minutes, the noodles were ready. He sprinkled some chopped green onions into the noodles when he took them out of the pot. It was not as fragrant as meat, but the noodles were not bad, especially the fragrance of the chopped green onions. It felt like they could smell it from afar. He added a few fried eggs and cooked them together. It was just right to increase the freshness of the noodles. It did not take long to cook. To the country people, it was already a delicacy. Liang Jinxiao scooped a bowl of noodles for each of them and called for them to eat. Chapter 1656. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly stopped Zhao Yun'er. Yun'er, eat slowly. Don't eat in such a hurry, or you'll burn your throat. The noodles are very hot. You should blow on the noodles to cool them down before eating. Zhao Yun'er nodded in embarrassment. She was too impatient, like a child. People had to feel comfortable when they were full. Otherwise, it would be too uncomfortable when they were hungry. Mu Yinfeng held the noodles in his hands and stood in the courtyard, slowly eating them. The strong fragrance of the noodles spread throughout old Zhao's courtyard. Feng Zhangxia smelled the fragrance of the noodles and walked out of the house. Because she was thinking about Zhao Yun'er's family's banquet at noon, Feng Zhangxia did not prepare lunch. Who knew that the white tiger would take Tian away? Feng Zhangxia was afraid that Zhao Yun'er would come back from the mountain after a while, so she had been waiting. If Zhao Yun'er came back, she would be able to eat. If she waited and Zhao Yun'er prepared a banquet, she would not be able to eat the food from Zhao Yun'er's family after she was full. Unfortunately, she waited for more than 3 hours. It was already 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was past mealtime, and her stomach could not bear it. Yun'er, third sister-in-law, why are you eating? Feng Zhangxia frowned slightly, and her tone was somewhat questioning and dissatisfied. Liang Jinxiao looked up at Feng Zhangxia in confusion and replied, Sister-in-law, what's wrong? Can't we eat? It's already past noon, and no one has eaten. So we just made some noodles to fill our stomachs? Is there something wrong? Feng Zhangxia's face suddenly darkened. Didn't they say that they were going to prepare a banquet at noon? Now that Zhao Yun'er had finally come back, the third branch only made some noodles. Wasn't she waiting in vain? Third sister-in-law, isn't your family preparing a banquet at noon? Don't you want to prepare it? Why are you only eating noodles for lunch? Liang Jinxiao frowned slightly and explained to Feng Zhangxia, Sister-in-law, Yun'er just came back and she's hungry. If they were to prepare for the banquet at this time, who knew when they would be able to eat it? Why don't we make some noodles for lunch? It's convenient and fast, and we don't have to go hungry. The corners of Feng Zhangxia's mouth twitched a few times, and her face was extremely ugly. Usually, the banquet was prepared at noon. Now that the third branch had not prepared anything, could it be that they were not going to prepare for the banquet? Then wouldn't she have lost a good meal for nothing? Third sister-in-law, your family has bought all the vegetables. If you don't prepare the banquet today at noon and wait until tomorrow at noon, the vegetables you bought will probably spoil in this season, especially the meat. Yun'er had spent money on it. She couldn't let it go to waste. I saw that Yun'er bought a lot of groceries today. Your family won't be able to finish them all. Liang Jinxiao said, Sister-in-law, it's okay. The banquet will be prepared at night. The vegetables won't spoil as long as they don't stay overnight. We're family. We can eat whatever we want at noon or at night. There's no need to be so particular. Besides, Yun'er did have something to do today, so she was delayed. Don't you think so, sister-in-law? Feng Zhangxia quickly nodded and said, Yes, yes, yes. Third sister-in-law, you're right. Our old Zhao family can eat together, either at noon or at night. The banquet is still necessary. After all, it's for the sake of celebration. Feng Zhangxia's originally gloomy face suddenly looked much better. Chapter 1657. Zhao Yun rolled her eyes in her heart. This Feng Zhangxia, although her mouth sounded nice, in fact, who didn't know that she was thinking about her family's food in her heart? It was true that other people's things were good, and she couldn't wait to take a little bit of advantage. Liang Jinxiao responded, and the smile at the corner of his mouth was a little resentful. Zhao Yun also didn't pay attention to Feng Zhangxia at all. The banquet at night, indeed, had to be prepared. The meat that was bought must be eaten on the same day, otherwise it would be easy to spoil. After all, the weather was getting hotter, and there was no refrigerator in ancient times. Thinking of the refrigerator, Zhao Yun suddenly thought of using saltpeter to make ice. When she was young, not every house had a refrigerator, but the people in the village would sell popsicles and ice cream. At that time, a popsicle cost 2 cents, but they ate it with relish. The person who sold the popsicles would put the ice into a box and then cover it with a quilt. This way, the temperature would be kept low and the ice in the box would not melt. This was equivalent to a small, simple refrigerator. In the era where refrigerators were rare, this method was used to preserve the popsicles. If she were to use saltpeter to make ice now, she could put the ice into a small seal box and then cover it with a quilt. This way, even if the weather was hot, she could put the food or ingredients from last night into this simple refrigerator. It wouldn't spoil, and it wouldn't waste the ingredients. This would have to wait until she had time to do it, and she was not in the mood at all. As long as Tian didn't come back, her heart would be in suspense. She didn't want to organize the banquet at night. She thought that even if she didn't organize the banquet tonight, she would have to make it up. It would be better to do it directly. After all, the ingredients were already bought. After a while, the noodles in Zhao Yun'er's bowl were not so hot, and she swallowed the noodles in big mouthfuls. Liang Jinxiao also came out of the kitchen with a bowl of noodles. At noon, he made do with the noodles, afraid that it would be a waste if they couldn't finish it. At the banquet at night, there would be no leftovers, so Liang Jinxiao estimated that he made a bowl for each person. When she finished filling her bowl, the pot was filled with soup, so it wouldn't be a waste if she ate it. Zhao Yun'er glanced at Liang Jinxiao's bowl and saw that there were eggs in everyone's bowls except for Liang Jinxiao's. Zhao Yun'er frowned and asked, "Mother, why don't you have eggs? Didn't you cook one for yourself?" Liang Jinxiao smiled and replied, "It's fine. Yun'er, Mother doesn't need to eat. You too can eat." Zhao Yun'er's frown deepened. "Mother, how can you do this? You're not willing to eat it yourself, so you're saving it for us? Mother, you don't need to eat." "It's not like I'm saving it on purpose." Liang Jinxiao continued to smile. Zhao Yun'er showed a poker face. Sometimes, she really couldn't stand Liang Jinxiao. Just like her mother from the 21st century, she always gave good things to her family and never ate them herself. It was just an egg. What was the point of saving it? "Mother, you're not like before. You're pregnant. Don't not eat. If you don't eat, how can you replenish your nutrition? What about the child in your belly? Even if you don't think for yourself, you have to think for the child." Zhao Yun'er lectured as if she was an elder who needed to be lectured. She switched her role with Liang Jinxiao's. Chapter 1658. Zhao Yun'er sighed and said, "Mother, the past is the past, and the present is the present. How can the past be compared to the present? Don't say so much now. The most important thing is to take good care of your body. Come, Mother, eat the egg in my bowl. I'm fine." With that said, Zhao Yun'er picked up the untouched egg in the bowl and placed it in Liang Jinxiao's bowl. Liang Jinxiao was slightly stunned and hurriedly wanted to return the egg to Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er moved the bowl to the side and said, "Mother, just eat it. Don't give it back to me." Liang Jinxiao frowned and sighed. "Yun'er, you little girl, eat it yourself. Why are you giving it to Mother?" "Sigh. Mother, I'm not pregnant, so I don't need to nourish my body. You're pregnant, so naturally, you have to eat more." Zhao Wenhua watched from the side and smiled at Liang Jinxiao. "Yun'er's mother, just eat it when Yun'er asks you to. Don't delay. Next time, if there's anything good, you have to be the first to eat it." Liang Jinxiao was helpless when she saw that Zhao Wenhua was also persuading her. Looking at the egg in the bowl, Liang Jinxiao thought about how filial her daughter was and how the family's life was getting better and better. Tears welled up in her eyes. "Yun'er, how about this? Mother will eat the egg, but we have to split it in half. Otherwise, Mother won't eat it." Liang Jinxiao picked up the egg and split it in half. Zhao Yun'er looked at Liang Jinxiao's stubborn expression and had no choice but to say, Okay. Mother, I'll eat half, and you eat the other half. This should be fine, right?" "Okay." Liang Jinxiao smiled and put half of the egg in Zhao Yun'er's bowl, but she picked the bigger half. Zhao Yun'er felt a little helpless. Perhaps this was how parents treated their children. They always want to leave the best for their children. This was Liang Jinxiao's nature, so she definitely could not make her change anything at the moment. He saw that Zhao Yun'er's family was enjoying the noodles because there was enough oil in the noodles. Unlike them, they only added some water and didn't add any sesame oil. The entire courtyard was filled with the fragrance of noodles. That fragrance went straight into her nostrils, and Feng Zhangxia's stomach became even hungrier. Feng Zhangxiao swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva. Third sister-in-law, I didn't eat at noon. Do you still have noodles in your pot? Make some for me. Liang Jinxiao looked at Feng Zhangxia, frowned, and said apologetically, No, sister-in-law, I only cooked one bowl of soup. I didn't cook that much. Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and said, All right then, third sister-in-law, why didn't you cook more noodles? I'm afraid I can't finish it. Feng Zhangxia swallowed her saliva and didn't continue speaking. Zhao Yun saw Feng Zhangxia's eager look. She guessed that Feng Zhangxia was thinking about her family's noodles. She was glad that Liang Jinxiao didn't cook so much. Otherwise, Feng Zhangxia would mention it. With Liang Jinxiao's temperament, she would definitely give it to Feng Zhangxia. Zhao Yun'er was full and was about to leave when she saw three figures walking over from afar. These three people were old Zhao's second son. Today, Zhao and Shui had no choice but to go to Li Chueying's maternal home and bring Li Chueying back. He stayed at Li Chueying's maternal home for lunch, so he came back at this time. Zhao Yun'er was a little disappointed when she saw that Li Chueying actually agreed to come back with Zhao Wenshui. If she came back to live with a scumbag like Zhao Wenshui, it meant that she would have to suffer in the future. Chapter 1659. Not only in ancient times, but also in the 21st century. Under normal circumstances, women's contributions were not valued, and men took it for granted. But why did women have to contribute to their families? Because of their responsibilities to their families and children, women could not be cruel. Most of the time, they could only bear with it when they were wronged. In a marriage, they were always the one who was hurt. Sometimes, letting go could save oneself. It all depended on whether the woman could give up her children and whether she could be cruel enough. Li Chueying chose to come back this time, just as Zhao Yun'er thought. If it were for herself, she would not live with Zhao Wenshui anymore. But for her daughter's marriage, she had to come back. She could not be absent when her daughter was getting married, right? Today, Zhao Yun'er accompanied Zhao Wenshui to pick up the bride. She cried in front of her and said that it was not easy for her these days. Li Chueying let it go, so she agreed to come back with Zhao Wenhua. However, Zhao Wenhua did not gain anything from going to Li Chueying's family this time. Zhao Yun'er found that Zhao Wenshui's face and eyes were bruised when he came back. He looked very miserable. Zhao Wenshui lowered his head, afraid that others would see the wound on his forehead. After all, it was a shameful thing. As a man, he was beaten and could not erase his face, so he was afraid of being ridiculed. The reason why Zhao Wenshui's face was so badly injured was that he went to Li Chueying's family. Li Chueying's family felt that their daughter was bullied by him, so they taught him a lesson. The wound was caused by Li Chueying's two older brothers. Although he was a man, how could he deal with Li Chueying's two older brothers alone? He could only be beaten. In addition, the purpose of his visit today was to pick up Li Chueying to go back to his hometown. If he resisted, would she still go with him? Obviously not. Therefore, even if he was wronged, he had to grit his teeth and bear it. But he didn't expect Li Chueying's two brothers to be so ruthless. They beat him so badly that he couldn't show his face in public. As soon as Zhao Wenshui and Li Chueying returned, old Zhao's family members hurried to greet them. They all greeted Li Chueying enthusiastically. Second sister-in-law, you're back. Second sister-in-law is finally back. Second sister-in-law. After all, they were family. When Li Chueying came back, they had to say a few words. Otherwise, if Li Chueying ran away again, the second branch would cause trouble for the other branches. If Li Chueying didn't leave this time, old Zhao's family wouldn't have to deal with all these troubles. Li Chueying suddenly felt a little uncomfortable in the face of these people's enthusiasm. In fact, she was bitterly disappointed in Zhao Wenshui and old Zhao's family members. But she didn't expect them to treat her like this. It was really a little surprising. Hearing the noise outside, Zhao Baoshan hurried out of the room and said to Li Chueying, second sister-in-law, you're back. It's good that you're back. It's good that you're back. Father, Li Chueying called. No matter what, Zhao Baoshan was talking to her, so she had to reply politely. Zhao Baoshan showed a rare smile when he called her. He had been sullen these days because of these trivial matters at home. As people got older, what they wanted most was a harmonious family and a happy family. Chapter 1660. Now that Li Chuiying was back, Zhao Baoshan's mood improved a little. It meant that the family could get along harmoniously again. Baoshan, you have to be careful. Don't bully your wife. If I find out, I'll break your legs. Zhao Baoshan warned him sternly. Zhao Wenshui pursed his lips and replied in a low voice with grievance. Got it, Dad. The brothers around him also persuaded Zhao Wenshui. Yes, second brother, father is right. Second sister-in-law must be sincere to live with you since she came back to live with you. You have to treat second sister-in-law well. Brother Baoshan, if you bully second sister-in-law again and she runs away, you'll be the one suffering. You should know how difficult it is to live alone during this period of time when second sister-in-law is not around, so you have to treat second sister-in-law well. Brother Baoshan, for a moment, old Zhao's brothers and sisters-in-law all spoke up for Li Chuiying and criticized Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui was a little impatient. He had treated Li Chuiying badly before, but they shouldn't criticize him like this, right? If it weren't for Zhao Baoshan's presence, Zhao Wenshui wanted to retort. However, he was afraid that Zhao Baoshan would punch him, so he could only swallow his words. Old Zhao's family chatted for a while before Hu Chunhua came out of the room. Old lady, second sister-in-law is back. Yes, Mom, second sister-in-law is back. After hearing their words, Hu Chunhua just glanced at Li Chuiying indifferently and said, You finally know to come back. Li Chuiying's face immediately darkened when he heard Hu Chunhua's words. He knew that Hu Chunhua was dissatisfied with him. The good atmosphere was ruined by Hu Chunhua's words. Zhao Baoshan glared at Hu Chunhua and reprimanded her. Old woman, what are you saying? Second daughter-in-law has finally come back. If you don't have a good attitude, be careful that she doesn't leave in anger. When that time comes, I'll see who's going to take care of the second branch. They'll drag you down. Hu Chunhua became obedient after being scolded by Zhao Baoshan. Unlike the rest of old Zhao's family, Hu Chunhua was the first to notice the scar on Zhao Wenshui's face. Hu Chunhua quickly asked, Second brother, what happened to your face? How did you get hurt like this? Everyone finally noticed the scar on Zhao Wenshui's face when Hu Chunhua said this. Yeah, second brother, what happened to your face? Why is it swollen like a pig's head? Second brother, your face is badly hurt. Are you okay? Who hit you? Zhao Wenshui glanced at Li Chuiying when he was asked this question. He lowered his head and said aggrievedly, My face got hurt because I went to bring Jing Er's mother home. What do you mean, second brother? What do I mean? What do you mean? I was beaten up by Jing Er's two uncles. They were so ruthless that my face got beaten up like this. Hu Chunhua immediately exploded when she heard that he was beaten up by Li Chuiying's two older brothers. She angrily scolded, What? Second brother, Jing Er's uncles dare to beat you up like this? This is too much. They beat you up in his house. Aren't they afraid of injuring or crippling him? Chapter 1661. Mother. Li Chuiying felt very uncomfortable after being scolded by Hu Chunhua. She stopped him? Why did she stop him? Her brothers were standing up for her. Zhao Wenshui was in the wrong. What was wrong with teaching him a lesson? If she ran over to stop Zhao Wenshui after he was beaten, her two brothers would feel disappointed. Hu Chunhua's mouth was unforgiving. She scolded and rolled her eyes. Don't say that my second son doesn't treat you well. Look at you. You're the same. You don't care about your own man. Who do you expect to care about him for you? Seeing the injury on Zhao Wenshui's face, Hu Chunhua, as his mother, felt very uncomfortable. No matter how bad her son was, she should be the one to teach him a lesson. It was not someone else's turn to teach him a lesson. Hearing Hu Chunhua's defense, Zhao Wenshui felt a lot better. The people in old Zhao's family all defended Li Chuiying and scolded him. His mother loved him the most. Sometimes when a man treats you badly, you have to think about whether it's your own problem. How can a man treat a woman who doesn't care about her own man and doesn't care about him? Li Chuiying saw that Hua Chunhua was getting more and more insatiable. He wanted to refute, but Zhao Baoshan scolded him in advance. Zhao Baoshan's face was cold as he scolded Hua Chunhua. You only know how to protect your own son. Don't you know why your second son was beaten? You know what kind of bastard he did. Let's not talk about how he treated Jing, Er's mother, and made her leave. Let's talk about what happened between him and Widow Qian. If your daughter was bullied like this and your son-in-law came back, would you beat him up? I think your second son should be taught a lesson like this. It was a good beating. It was worth it. If you didn't beat him up, he wouldn't have remembered this lesson. After Zhao Baoshan taught her a lesson, Hua Chunhua's arrogance was reduced by a lot. She could be arrogant in front of her wife, but she was afraid when Zhao Baoshan scolded her. How could she not understand the logic of Zhao Baoshan's words? But which mother would not protect her son and protect her daughter-in-law? Her heart ached when she saw Zhao Wenshui being hit so hard on the face. Mother, don't scold second sister-in-law. You can't blame second sister-in-law for this. Zhao Wenhua chimed in. Not only did he think that Zhao Wenshui deserved the beating this time, but he was also afraid that Hua Chunhua would drive Li Chuiying away again. Since that was the case, what was the point of having Zhao Wenhua go to Li Chuiying's maternal home to bring Li Chuiying back? He even got beaten up for nothing. Except for Hua Chunhua, the other members of old Zhao's family were more reasonable. After they took turns to scold Hua Chunhua, she was discouraged. Okay, I won't say any more. It's my fault. It's all my fault, okay? Hua Chunhua snorted softly, turned around, and went back into the house. Zhao Baoshan looked at Hua Chunhua's back as she left. His eyebrows twitched. He felt that old Zhao's family had so many discordant things because of Hua Chunhua. So what if she didn't say a few words? She would only be happy when the whole family was unhappy. Fortunately, there was no big conflict. When he went back, he would talk to her and tell her not to bully his wives. Second sister-in-law, you must be tired from the journey. Go back to the house and rest. Chapter 1662. After such a long journey, Li Chuiying was indeed a little tired. After listening to old Zhao's family, she went into the second branch's house. Old Zhao's family, who had gathered together, also dispersed. This was because the news of the white tiger coming down from the mountain to the village had spread. During the day, the villagers didn't wander around the village except for those who had to go out to do work. They were afraid that an accident would happen and they would be eaten by the white tiger on the mountain. Nothing was more important than life these days. If you lost your life, you would lose everything. Zhao Yin'er felt that she shouldn't give up eating for fear of choking. The villagers didn't dare to go out because they were afraid of the white tiger. She didn't think there was anything to be afraid of. If the white tiger really came down from the mountain, it would be easy to deal with it in the village. Not long after Zhao Yin'er went to the big house at the foot of the mountain, the furniture store sent the things over. There were several beds and cabinets, and it took 3 ox carts to bring them over. These pieces of furniture added together were extremely luxurious and shocking. Mulan's custom-made furniture was less than Zhao Yun'er's, so it only took 1 ox cart to send it over. Because there were many people in Zhao Yun'er's family, they had to prepare a few more beds. When Zhao Tianan married Mu Hin, they had to prepare a wedding house. In this wedding house, the bed, wardrobe, and other basic furniture had to be prepared. They couldn't let such a good girl like Mu Hin suffer after marrying over. When the ox carts came to the village and saw so many pieces of furniture, some villagers who were bold and liked to join the fun came out to watch. In broad daylight, with a few people together, even if the white tiger came over, there shouldn't be any big danger. One by one, they went to Zhao Yun'er's new house to join the fun. However, compared to before, there were much fewer people joining in the fun. Zhao Yun'er's family had built a big house, and now they bought so many pieces of furniture. How much money did they spend? Originally, everyone in the village was about the same. Their lives were also ordinary. They were not rich and powerful. Now, only Zhao Yun'er's family had become an exception. How grand would it be to live in a big house with such furniture? It was almost the same as the big families in town. It would be a lie to say that they weren't jealous. What people hated the most was to see someone who was about the same as you suddenly become rich one day. The contrast in their hearts would cause them to feel a huge gap in their hearts. Naturally, they would feel unhappy. Oh my, old Zhao's third branch is really rich. They must have spent a lot of money to buy so much furniture, right? That's right. With so much furniture, how could they not spend money? I don't think you can buy these things without at least 3 or 4 taels of silver. I say, since old Zhao's third branch is so rich, why don't they buy a house in town instead of spending so much money to build a house? He's not the same as us, so he shouldn't stay in the village. You don't know, but it's not cheap to buy a house in town. Their family is rich in the village, but it's not necessarily the case in town. How can they have a sense of superiority in front of us? They're deliberately showing it to us so that we can be envious and jealous. However, there's no other way. I have to admit that old Zhao's third branch's life is getting better and better. They're much better than us. Oh, that's right. They're different from us. We can't climb up to such a neighbor. Yes, we can't. They're rich now, and we're poor. Chapter 1663. These villagers' words were more sour than the other. To put it bluntly, they were jealous and couldn't bear to see others doing well. Zhao Yun, family's conditions suddenly improved so much that they hated her. Zhao Yun heard the words of the surrounding villagers, but did not pay attention to these people. Others could say whatever they wanted. That was their business, and she couldn't care less. Her family's life was good, and others couldn't take advantage of it. They could only watch. Several ox carts stopped in front of Zhao Yun's house. At this time, they were delivering furniture to him. The coachman's forehead was full of sweat. Zhao Yun just prepared a pot of tea, so he let the coachman rest for a while and drink a cup of water. The cart drivers didn't expect Zhao Yun to be so polite. They took the tea and drank it with a smile. Usually, I didn't drink tea. They only drank ordinary water. The first time they tasted it, they felt that it was exceptionally delicious. When they drank the tea, they felt that it was slightly bitter at first. Later, they felt that it was sweet and had a special taste. Moreover, it could quench their thirst. After drinking a cup of tea, the heat dissipated and their entire body felt much more comfortable. In order to support their families and earn more money, they couldn't wait to make a few more trips a day. Every time they made a trip, they would settle the bill. Even under the hot sun, it was no exception. At this time, people were about to get a heat stroke. For the sake of money, they still took the ox cart. Usually, after they made a trip to deliver the goods, the owner wouldn't be so polite to them. Zhao Yun was one of the few. Uncles, please sit down and cool down. I've taken up a bit of your time. I'll find someone to help move it down. Seeing that Zhao Yun was so polite, the cart driver smiled and said, "There's no need to find someone. We'll help move it." Zhao Yun was a little embarrassed. "Won't this be too troublesome for you, uncles? These things are quite heavy. It's a bit tiring to move them. You're already tired enough to come all the way here under the hot sun to deliver the goods." The cart drivers waved their hands and said, "It's okay. Now that I've drunk a cup of tea, I feel much better. With the few of us together, it should be very fast to move it. Then we won't have to go through the trouble of finding him." Zhao Yun saw that the coachmen were honest people and their attitudes were sincere. Although she was a little embarrassed, she nodded in agreement and said, "Then I'll have to trouble you uncles." In addition to her, there was also Mu Lianfeng and 3 coachmen who delivered the furniture. In less than 20 minutes, the furniture was brought back and placed in the room. After confirming that they were safe, the coachman left. Zhao Yun looked at the originally empty house. Chapter 1664. Zhao Yun really hadn't thought about holding a banquet. After all, holding a banquet wasn't a simple matter. It was rather troublesome. It seemed that there was such a custom in the village. Basically, when a new house was built, the people living in the new house would hold a banquet. "I'll ask my mother about this later." Zhao Yun replied with a smile. It would be better if they didn't have to hold a banquet. If they had to, they would take care of it together with Liang Jinxiao. It wasn't as if their family hadn't held one before. The old lady nodded and said, "That's good. If you want to hold a banquet, let me know. However, for the sake of celebration, girl, your family definitely has to hold a banquet. It's just for the sake of liveliness." Zhao Yun smiled and agreed. The people in the village had eaten at Zhao Yun's banquet last time. They knew that Zhao Yun's family had prepared a lot of meat dishes that tasted very good. They would spend a few copper coins to join in the fun and freeload a meal. On the contrary, they profited. After giving the third branch's gift money, this favor would still be there. When their family held a banquet, the third branch would naturally have to return the gift money. Got it. Haha. Today is a good day for your family. Granny is also happy to see it. Seeing the smile on the old lady's face, Zhao Yun's heart warmed. Not everyone in this village was so bad. Some of them had good hearts. She didn't need to pay attention to some people. It was fine to interact with people with good characters. After arranging the furniture in the house, Zhao Yun went to call Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua so that they could prepare to move out of old Zhao's house. She went with Bei Chen Ming to the small rundown house that she had lived in for a few months to pack up her things. There weren't many things in the small rundown house. Other than a few quilts, there were only a few pieces of her clothes. Very quickly, after 2 or 3 rounds of moving, everything was moved to the new house. As for the third branch, Zhao Wenhua, Zhao Tianan, and Liang Jinxiao were there. There was more than enough manpower. The people from the first branch, the fourth branch, and Li Chuiying helped out a little. In a short while, the third branch's room was emptied. The first branch was not a good person. They took the initiative to offer help. Feng Zhangxiao thought that if the third branch emptied the room, they would be able to make a wedding room for Tianhu. Naturally, she would be more attentive at this time. What if the third branch did not give the room to the first branch but gave it to the other 2 branches? As for the fourth branch, they had always been on good terms with the third branch. Zhao Wentao and Qian Hongzhao were both good people. They were usually happy to help, so they helped to move things together. Li Chuiying remembered that when she fell into the latrine pit, it was Liang Jinxiao who did not mind her and pulled her up. At this moment, he finally found a chance to repay his kindness. Seeing that the third branch had moved out of old Zhao's house, the first branch was happy that the third branch had moved out of the room. The fourth branch was happy that the third branch could live in the big house. Only Hua Chunhua stood in the courtyard, pouting. Her expression was uncertain. Zhao Baoshan caught a glimpse of Hua Chunhua's sullen face and asked in confusion, "Old woman, what's with your reaction? It's a happy event for the third branch to move into the new house. You're making it look like a funeral. How unlucky." Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Baoshan and said, "What am I happy about? What's there to be happy about? The third branch is moving into the new house, but they won't take me with them." The corner of Zhao Baoshan's mouth twitched. "I was wondering why you were unhappy. So, it's because of this. I'm right. I raised a son for nothing. He's living a good life without his mother." Chapter 1665. Playing dumb? Why would I play dumb? You know very well that Yun is the one who built the house. Why are you arguing with third brother? That Yun girl is not a good person. Our old Zhao family has raised her for nothing. Zhao Baoshan snorted. All right. No one is to blame for this. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself. Blame yourself for making a wrong judgment back then. Tell me, if you were nicer to Yun back then, she might have been nicer to you back then. If you don't move in now, then you deserve it. You old man, how can you say that? You only know how to speak up for that girl. Hua Chunhua complained with great dissatisfaction. I'm not speaking up for anyone. I'm just speaking the truth. If you're nice to others, they'll be nice to you. As a grandmother, don't use your seniority to oppress others. Don't flaunt your seniority. Hua Chunhua realized that she couldn't win against Zhao Baoshan in an argument. What kind of magic potion did the third branch feed her old man? He was always speaking up for them. Seeing the third branch moving in and out of the house, Hua Chunhua felt even more uneasy. She also had to build a new house. She couldn't live worse than the third branch so that Zhao Yun could be proud. By the time Zhao Yun finished moving in and arranging everything, it was already 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Seeing that the sun had dimmed a lot, it seemed that it was time to prepare dinner. Zhao Yun had already bought the ingredients in the morning and moved them to the new house. She just needed to prepare some dishes and cook them. With Liang Jinxiao around, the two of them got busy very quickly. Qian Zhuzhao enthusiastically helped to wash and pick the vegetables, while Zhao Yun was in charge of cooking. Mu Yinfeng saw that Zhao Yun had bought a fish back. It weighed about 2 to 3 caddies and could be cooked several big bowls. Zhao Yun wanted to eat braised fish, so she bought a big one. She just wanted to slice the fish and make some fish soup. When the whole family was eating together, old Zhao's family probably didn't care about the side dishes. They didn't usually eat meat dishes. What they rarely ate was meat. They bought 2 caddies of meat and braised it in a big bowl. They could even stir-fry some shredded meat with the side dishes. This kind of meal be served until the new year. Seeing that Mu Yinfeng was about to kill the fish with a knife, Qian Zhozha hurriedly stepped forward and stopped Mu Yinfeng. "Lord Heir, let me kill this fish. Please rest." Mu Yinfeng raised his head and glanced at Qian Zhozha. He smiled and said, "It's fine. I'll do it. Let me do it." Mu Yinfeng was a little puzzled. "It's really okay. I know how to do this. Yin'er taught me. Fourth aunt, you don't have to help." However, Qian Jie insisted. "Heir apparent, although this isn't a tiring task, the fishy smell on the fish is too strong. You can't smell it. What if the fish's blood splashes onto your body while you're doing it? Your clothes look very expensive. You should pay more attention to them. I'm wearing coarse clothes. It's better for me to do it." As she spoke, Qian Zhuzhao went forward and took the knife from Mu Yinfeng's hand. Then, she squatted down and began to kill the fish. Mu Yinfeng smiled helplessly. It seemed that he couldn't work in his usual clothes. He had to prepare some tattered clothes. That way, no one would stop him from doing farm work the next time he wanted to do it. Mu Yinfeng lowered his head and glanced at Qian Zhuzhao killing the fish. He had to admit that Qian Zhuzhao was much more skilled than him. Chapter 1666. Now that Zhao Yun'er's family had built a new house, the kitchen was bigger. Knowing that the few people in the family were gluttons and loved to eat, Zhao Yun'er prepared some delicious food from time to time. It would be more convenient for them to cook in the future if the kitchen was bigger. Usually, she liked to cook some food for herself. Previously, when 2 people entered the kitchen, they couldn't turn around. This time, there were 3 people in the kitchen, and it was still very spacious. There was a large table in the middle of the kitchen. There were bowls, chopsticks, and ingredients on it. There was also a chopping board for them to cut vegetables on. There were 2 windows in the kitchen. The lighting was very good, and the ventilation was good. In this season, one was most afraid of stuffiness when working in the kitchen. In the previous small kitchen, people couldn't stand it after a while. Now, they didn't feel uncomfortable in the kitchen. Qian Red Date sighed as she helped to cut the vegetables. A big house is good. It's more comfortable to cook in a big kitchen. Liang Jinxiao smiled and replied, "Yes, I think it's good too. I never thought that I would live in a house like this one day. It feels like a dream." Qian Red Date laughed even more happily. "Haha, third sister-in-law, this is all because Yun'er is good. If it weren't for Yun'er, she wouldn't be able to live in a house like this." Liang Jinxiao nodded in response. There was a sense of pride between her eyebrows. The greatest blessing in her life was to give birth to such a daughter. She brought the family to live a good life after suffering. The 2 sisters-in-law chatted as they cut the vegetables. Soon, they were ready. Zhao Yun'er got the money for the stove and started to cook. After a while, a strong fragrance wafted out of the kitchen, especially the smell of meat. They couldn't help but swallow their saliva. They couldn't wait to eat it immediately. At this moment, in addition to being tempted by the smell of Zhao Yun'er's cooking, they were also hungry because they moved back and forth in the afternoon. There was a lot of work to do. The noodles they ate at noon were easy to digest, but not filling. Now, they only felt that their stomachs were empty. In the kitchen, Zhao Yun'er quickly cooked a few dishes. In the evening, old Zhao's family came over. Zhao Yun knew old Zhao's family's fighting ability, so she prepared more food. She was afraid that those people wouldn't have enough to eat and the third branch wouldn't have enough to eat. In addition to the fresh vegetables, Zhao Yun'er stir-fried a plate of fresh meat with garlic moss and added a few pieces of green pepper. The aroma of the fresh meat made people drool even more. In addition, he also prepared a bowl of loofah egg soup and a plate of scrambled eggs. In total, there were more than 10 dishes on the table. Yun'er girl, that's enough. You don't have to cook anymore. Qian Hongzhao hurriedly said after seeing Zhao Yun'er cook so many dishes. He was afraid that Zhao Yun'er would cook too much and not be able to finish it. If he couldn't finish it in this season, it would go bad easily. What a waste. Zhao Yun'er glanced at the dishes on the table. She was not sure. Under normal circumstances, 10 or 20 dishes would be enough. However, old Zhao's gluttonous family members, especially Zhao and Shui, could eat a lot by themselves. After hesitating for a while, Zhao Yun'er said, "Fourth aunt, let's cook a few more dishes. Anyway, there are still dishes." "Hey, girl, you're really not shabby when you're inviting people. It's my duty," Zhao Yun'er said while her hands didn't stop moving. The stove was burning wood and the fire was very strong. A dish could be cooked in the pot for a few minutes. It was more convenient to cook vegetables without stewing. Chapter 1667. The pancakes were made with flour and a few eggs. They were mixed together and then heated up in a pot. Some rapeseed oil was added and then dropped into the pot. One side of the pancake was cooked, turned over, and pasted on the other side. Because of the addition of eggs, the pancake was golden yellow. It was beautiful and fragrant, making people salivate. After a while, the food was finally ready. Zhao Yun stood in front of the stove, and her forehead was covered with sweat. Her back was also soaked. She had to wash it well at night and then go to bed. "Dinner is ready. Dinner is ready. Everyone sit down quickly." Liang Jinxiao greeted old Zhao's family with a smile. Zhao Yun ordered a large round table among the furniture. Old Zhao's family could squeeze together and eat at the same table. Under normal circumstances, a table could not sit so many people. The women had to stand and not eat at the table. Now that they could all sit down, they were naturally happy. "I've been hungry for a long time after smelling Yun'er's food. After waiting for so long, it's finally time." "Yes, Yun'er's cooking is amazing. Let's not be stunned and eat quickly." Yes, let's eat quickly." Old Zhao's family was together and did not stand on ceremony. It was rare for them to eat such good food, so they immediately ate heartily. Zhao Yun'er could not help but think of Tian Tian in the tiger's den and lost her appetite. Faced with a table full of good food, she only picked a little bit to eat. These dishes were chewed in her mouth like chewing wax, and she could not taste anything. The men ate and drank. It was the first time since they separated that they had a meal at the same table. Zhao Baoshan was suddenly filled with emotions. He was looking forward to seeing his family together and watching his family live in harmony. Now that they had separated and lived their own lives, he felt that they were not a family. The women ate faster and soon finished their food and left the table. The men continued to raise their wine glasses and drink happily together. There were still many dishes left on the table. Zhao Yun'er persuaded the ants to eat more. If they couldn't finish it, they would probably fall ill tonight. By tomorrow, these dishes would definitely be spoiled. "Yun'er girl, we won't hold back either. This time, we really can't eat anymore, even if our stomachs burst." If he could stomach it, he would definitely eat it. "I have nothing to say about your craftsmanship." "That's right. Yun'er girl, your cooking is too delicious. It tastes really good. It's just that you made too much. I reminded you not to make so much. You definitely won't be able to finish it." Zhao Yun'er smiled. "I'm fine. Not being able to finish the meal was better than not having enough." If she didn't enjoy the meal to her heart's content, she would say that her family's hospitality wasn't good enough. "Tell your uncles to stop eating and eat more. Men have big appetites, so they might be able to finish it," Qian Zhozhi said. As she spoke, she told the men to drink less and eat more. However, the men all liked wine. They would rather eat less than drink more. The wine that Zhao Yun'er bought tasted different from the wine that ordinary people in the village drank. It was good wine, so the men drank happily. Among the men, The one who drank the most was Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui had not drunk much wine in the past few days, so he was very greedy. He poured big bowls of wine into his stomach, and he was drunk. Chapter 1668. After being reprimanded by Zhao Baoshan, Zhao Wenshui lowered his head in fright and muttered, "Dad, isn't it a joyous occasion for third younger brother's family today? I was so happy that I drank a little more." Zhao Baoshan snorted softly. How could his own son not know what kind of person he was? His mouth was more eloquent than anyone else, but in reality, that was not the case. Zhao Wenhua smiled and said, "Dad, let second older brother drink a little more today. He doesn't usually have the chance to drink so much." Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Wenhua gratefully and nodded behind Zhao Wenhua. "Dad, that's right. Third younger brother is right." Zhao Baoshan rolled his eyes at Zhao Wenshui. "Right my ass, you gluttonous and lazy thing." Zhao Wenshui smiled embarrassedly and swallowed his saliva. He did not dare to look into Zhao Baoshan's eyes. Zhao Yun stood at the side and suddenly felt that Zhao Baoshan was a little cute. He liked to speak the truth and make people speechless. "Hey!" Zhao Wenshui suddenly shouted. Everyone at the table looked at Zhao Wenshui, thinking that something big had happened to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui frowned and said faintly, "I drank so much that I can't hold my pee. I'm going to pee." Everyone at the table was speechless. Did he need to say such things out loud? Couldn't he just go to pee secretly? They thought that something big was going on. Zhao Baoshan glared at Zhao Wenshui angrily. It said that lazy people shit and pee a lot. It's true. Zhao Wenshui felt wronged. He was holding his pee because he drank too much. How could that have anything to do with laziness? "Dad, all right, Dad. Stop scolding second older brother." "Second older brother, do you want me to send you to the toilet? You drank too much. Are you okay alone?" Zhao Wenshui stood up and waved his hand. Of course. There's no need for you to send me off. I'll go by myself and be back soon." "Second brother, can you really do it?" "Of course, I just drank some wine. What could happen?" Zhao Wenshui said as he staggered out of the room. Old Zhao's family didn't think too much about it and continued drinking at table. At this time, Feng Zhangxia was defecating in the toilet. After eating so much all at once, his stomach was full, so he had some indigestion. Now, he was in the latrine pit. However, after squatting for more than 10 minutes, he didn't manage to do anything. "Ouch!" Feng Zhangxia cried out softly. The pain was unbearable. If she had known earlier, she wouldn't have eaten so much. She wouldn't have had to suffer now. Unfortunately, there was no use in regretting. The pain would continue to hurt, and he didn't know when it would get better. Zhao Wenshui staggered to the latrine pit. When he opened the latrine door, he saw Feng Zhangxia's big white butt. His eyes immediately widened. Feng Zhangxia didn't seem to expect Zhao Wenshui to suddenly run over. She was shocked and hurriedly said to Zhao Wenshui, "Second younger brother, what are you doing? Why didn't you knock before coming in?" Feng Zhangxia's tone was reproachful. Zhao Wenshui drank too much, so his drunken mind was a lot muddled. He tugged at the corner of his mouth and smiled at Feng Zhangxia. "Sister-in-law, I didn't know you were inside, so I came in. I need a pee." Feng Zhangxia tugged at the corner of her mouth. Her expression was a little ugly. She urged him in disgust. "Then hurry up and leave. You can come in when I'm done." Chapter 1669. Feng Zhangxia couldn't help but complain. "Second brother, as a man, why do you have to pee in the latrine pit? Why don't you just find a bush and make do with it?" Zhao Wenshui said drunkenly. "How can I do that? How can I make do with this kind of thing? Why can't I do it? Second brother, hurry up and get out. What if others see it?" Feng Zhangxia was even more impatient as she drove him away. If others knew that her sister-in-law's brother-in-law had seen her buttocks, they would definitely laugh at her. It wouldn't be a big deal, but it might be spread. She was someone who cared about her reputation and didn't want to hear any bad rumors about her. "Sister-in-law, your buttocks are so white, much whiter than my wife's." Zhao Wenshui's eyes were fixed on Feng Zhangxia's buttocks. Feng Zhangxia saw that Zhao Wenshui had no intention of leaving, and Zhao Wenshui's words. She was so scared that she quickly pulled up her pants. What are you talking about? Shameless. Bah. With that, Feng Zhangxia spat on the ground. Even if her stomach hurt, she didn't want to stay in a latrine pit. At this time, the drunk Zhao Wenshui really made people feel that he was dangerous. However, when Feng Zhangxia wanted to leave, Zhao Wenshui made it difficult for her to leave. Feng Zhangxia was so scared that her heart suddenly tightened. She frowned and questioned Zhao Wenshui angrily. Second brother, what do you want to do? Zhao Wenshui burped, and his breath smelled of alcohol. Then he smiled at Feng Zhangxia wretchedly and said, Sister-in-law, your buttocks are so white. Let me touch them. Let me see if they are white and smooth. After hearing Zhao Wenshui's words, Feng Zhangxia was sure that Zhao Wenshui was really drunk and probably didn't know what he was talking about. How could a normal person say these things? He made it sound like a hooligan. Could Zhao Wenshui not tell who she was? She was his sister-in-law. Of all the people he could flirt with, he had to flirt with his sister-in-law. I say, second brother, have you drunk too much? What nonsense are you talking about? Get out of my way. I'm leaving. Feng Zhangxia said as she nudged Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui had no intention of moving away and continued to pester Feng Zhangxia. Feng Zhangxia's arm was grabbed by Zhao Wenshui, and she couldn't escape at all. What are you trying to do? Hurry up and let me go, or I'll call for help. Feng Zhangxia threatened. Zhao Wenshui was drunk and did not know what fear was. He grinned and replied, Hee, sister-in-law, I didn't want to do anything. I just want to touch her, but to see how it feels and whether it's white and smooth. Let me touch you, and I'll let you go once you're done. Zhao Wenshui's hooligan behavior scared Feng Zhangxia. This second brother really wanted to touch her, but was for her man to touch, not Zhao Wenshui. Feng Zhangxia spat on Zhao Wenshui's face. If you want to touch someone's butt, go touch your own wife. Why are you touching me? Zhao Wenshui was slightly taken aback. Then he wiped his face with his hand and sniffed. Sister-in-law, your saliva smells better than my wife's. My wife has already touched your butt, and it's boring. Seeing that your butt is so white, I wanted to touch it and feel it. Feng Zhangxia wanted to punch Zhao Wenshui when she saw the vulgar smile on his face. Chapter 1670. Feng Zhangxia widened her eyes and threatened Zhao Wenshui. You shameless thing, you're talking nonsense. If you dare to touch me, I'll ask your brother to chop off your hand. Let's see if you still dare to do that. Zhao Wenshui rolled his eyes and seemed to be thinking about Feng Zhangxia's words. Sister-in-law, my brother and I are brothers. What's wrong with letting me touch his wife? Feng Zhangxia was speechless. Zhao Wenshui actually said such shameless words. She was helpless. It was useless to reason with him. You let me do it. Feng Zhangxia tried to push Zhao Wenshui again. Zhao Wenshui drank too much and fell to the ground, unable to get up. Feng Zhangxia took this opportunity to run out of the latrine pit. She ran all the way to Zhao Yun's house and sighed in relief. Seeing that Zhao Wenshui didn't chase after her, it meant that there was no danger. However, Feng Zhangxia's face was pale with fright. She couldn't calm down after what had just happened. When her sisters-in-law saw her, they couldn't help but ask, Sister-in-law, what's wrong with you? Why do you look so pale? Did something happen to you when you ran in so hurriedly? The corner of Feng Zhangxia's mouth twitched. Nothing, she couldn't say anything. Otherwise, if her sisters-in-law heard what Zhao Wenshui said, they might misunderstand. She didn't want to be wronged like Widow Qian and be framed for seducing Zhao Wenshui. But sister-in-law, you're still in shock. You seem to have encountered something big. Qian Zurio came forward and asked with concern. Feng Zhangxia knew that if she said nothing was wrong, her sisters-in-law wouldn't believe her. Feng Zhangxia thought quickly and casually made up an excuse. It's really nothing. I just went out and it was a little dark outside. I think I saw a ghost. I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks on me. Hearing Feng Zhangxia mention ghost shadow, a few timid sisters-in-law were a little scared. The ancient people believed in Buddha and God, and they believed in the existence of ghosts. To them, they were more afraid of ghosts and gods. Qian Zhuzhan's heart suddenly tightened, and she asked with some fear, "No way, sister-in-law, are you seeing things? If there really are ghosts, will we run into them later?" After they finished eating, they still had to go back to old Zhao's house from Zhao Yun'er's house. They had to take the dark road. What if they met a ghost? Just thinking about it made his hair stand on end. He was terrified. Feng Zhangxia shook her head. "I'm not sure either. Maybe I'm seeing things." Qianjie patted her chest and muttered, "Sister-in-law, you better be wrong. Don't touch those filthy things. Otherwise, if they really entangle you, you might even lose your life." Feng Zhangxia answered with a guilty conscience. She felt that this lie was too ridiculous. She was afraid that she would be exposed. Li Chuiying said in all seriousness, "Speaking of which, it's not impossible to run into filthy things." Third sister-in-law's house was built at the foot of the mountain. Human bones were buried here before, so it's normal for ghosts to appear. Chapter 1671. After Li Chuiying finished speaking, the sisters-in-law suddenly felt a chill in their hearts. Zhao Yun'er's house was indeed at the foot of the mountain. There were not many people there, so it looked a little gloomy and desolate. Especially at night, the silence was scary. Liang Jinxiao's face showed a trace of fear, and her voice trembled. "Second sister-in-law, don't scare me." "I'm not scaring you. I'm just reminding you. It's really dangerous at night. It's always good to be careful." "Sigh, now that you mention it, I'm a little scared to sleep at night." Liang Jinxiao clutched her chest and said. She believed in ghosts and gods, so she felt scared. If she didn't believe in ghosts, she naturally wouldn't feel scared. When Feng Zhangxia saw that her casual words had scared Liang Jinxiao, she felt a little apologetic. She pursed her lips and comforted Liang Jinxiao. "Third sister-in-law, you don't have to be too scared. It's hard to say. A few people really encounter ghosts. If you're really scared, ask Yun'er to go to Yang City and buy a pair of door gods. Put them on the door and you'll be fine." Liang Jinxiao felt that Feng Zhangxia's suggestion was good and nodded in agreement. "Eldest sister-in-law, you're right. It's best to ask Yun'er to buy a pair of door gods and put them on the door. That way, we'll feel more at ease. We adults are fine, but children can't be scared. It'll be troublesome if Daodu's soul is scared out of his wits." "Okay." As the sisters-in-law chatted, the men at the table drank a few more glasses of wine. Seeing that Zhao Wenshui had not returned, Zhao Wentao asked worriedly, "Did something happen to second brother in the latrine? Does it take him so long to pee? He's not back yet." When the others heard Zhao Wentao's words, they realized that Zhao Wenshui had indeed been in the latrine for a long time. Second brother drank too much. Could it be that he couldn't walk properly and fell? "I'll hurry over and take a look," Zhao Wenhua said. "Third brother, I'm going too. Let's go together." Zhao Baoshan nodded and said to Zhao Wentao and Zhao Wenhua, "Go. That lazy bum, I think he fell asleep in the toilet." When Zhao Wentao and Zhao Wenhua arrived at the latrine pit, they found that it was just as Zhao Baoshan had said. Zhao Wenshui laid down in the corner of the latrine pit, snoring loudly. Zhao Yunlong and Zhao Wentao looked at each other, somewhat shocked by the scene in front of them. Second brother really fell asleep in the latrine. Father was right. Father knows second brother best. Yes, second brother probably drank too much and fell asleep as soon as he fell on the ground. Let's quickly help him up and send him back. How could someone sleep in the latrine? All right. The two brothers each took one side of Zhao Wenshui and carried Zhao Wenshui in the middle. It was a little difficult for them to walk while supporting him. Zhao Wenshui's entire body was on top of the two brothers. It was very heavy. It was unknown if Zhao Wentao and Zhao Wenhua had moved Zhao Wenshui, but Zhao Wenshui began to mutter, "Sister-in-law, your butt is so white and smooth. It feels so good to touch. Hee, you didn't let me touch it. Now I can touch it. Sister-in-law, let me touch it again. Your butt is much more comfortable than my wife's. Sister-in-law, don't be afraid. It's fine if Big Brother finds out. Big Brother and I are brothers. We share blessings and misfortunes. What's wrong with letting me touch his wife's? But, sister-in-law. Chapter 1672. The two brothers were shocked. They never expected Zhao Wenshui to say something like that. Zhao Wentao asked Zhao Wenhua uncertainly, Brother Yulin, did you hear that? Is second brother talking about sister-in-law? Zhao Wenhua nodded. Yeah, I heard that. Zhao Wentao opened his mouth. Brother Yulin, did second brother really touch sister-in-law's butt? How could he do something like that? This, Zhao Yunlong frowned, and there was a hint of worry in his deep feelings. This matter is hard to say. Perhaps second brother is drunk and is talking nonsense now. Zhao Wentao nodded. He felt that Zhao Wenhua's guess was more likely. Yeah, second brother is very drunk right now and is talking nonsense. There was still some worry between Zhao Yunlong's brows. But then again, second brother can't be like this. Regardless of whether second brother is talking nonsense or not, if big brother hears this, second brother will definitely be beaten up. Zhao Wentao replied, yeah, anyone would get angry if they heard that. Second brother is really muddle-headed. Sai, let's hurry up and wake second brother up. Otherwise, if big brother hears him spouting nonsense again, our family will be in trouble tonight. Yeah, we have to wake second brother up. The two brothers quickly patted Zhao Wenshui's cheeks. Second brother, wake up. Second brother, stop sleeping. Wake up. Hurry up and wake up. Drink. I still want to drink. Don't stop me. Zhao Wenshui mumbled. He was so drunk that he didn't seem like he was going to wake up anytime soon. Brother Yulin, it's useless. We can't wake second brother up. Why don't we punch and wake him up? Zhao Wenhua asked tentatively. Is that okay? Will second brother be angry? Will he tell us that we'll beat him up later? Zhao Wentao was a little hesitant. He didn't dare to make this decision easily. Zhao Wenhua sighed. There's no other way. If we don't wake second brother up, big brother will beat him up. It won't be a matter of one punch. Let's explain it to him later. Second brother should be able to understand us. Zhao Wentao hesitated for a moment. All right then. Third brother, should I do it or should you? Let me. Zhao Wenhua raised his fist and punched Zhao Wentao in the face. Ah! Zhao Wenhua screamed in pain and woke up immediately. Following this, he covered his face and said, Ouch! It hurts so much. It hurts so much. Third brother, why did you hit me? My face is swollen because of you. Second brother, you were talking nonsense when you fell asleep in the latrine. Zhao Wenhua explained. Zhao Wenshui didn't believe it. He felt that it was an excuse for Zhao Wenhua to beat him up. Nonsense? What nonsense am I spouting? Third brother, explain it to me clearly. Zhao Wenhua hesitated for a moment. How could he say what Zhao Wenshui said just now? Third brother, why aren't you saying anything? Did you lie to me on purpose because I didn't say anything? Did you just want to punch me? Zhao Wenhua hurriedly waved his hand. If he didn't explain it clearly, his second brother would misunderstand him. With a red face, Zhao Wenhua repeated what Zhao Wenshui said just now. That, second brother, you said that sister-in-law's but was white and smooth. It felt good to touch. Zhao Wenshui opened his mouth and recalled what happened before he fell asleep. He had chased after Feng Zhangxia and wanted to touch her butt. Feng Zhangxia's white, but was still deeply imprinted in his mind. Chapter 1673. Zhao Wenhua nodded heavily and said, Yes, second brother. That's what you said. I'm not lying to you. Zhao Wenshui frowned and thought to himself, this is bad. If Zhao Wenhua and Zhao Wentao heard what he said, it would be terrible. If his eldest brother heard about it, his legs would be broken. Zhao Wenshui frowned. Zhao Wentao and Zhao Wenhua thought that Zhao Wenshui did not believe him. Second brother, third brother is telling the truth. I heard it too. That's what you said. Zhao Wentao confirmed. It can't be. You must have heard wrongly. Don't talk nonsense. If anything happens later, it'll be your fault. Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Wenhua were helpless. They were not talking nonsense. They were telling the truth. Second brother, since you're awake now, don't let it slip in front of big brother later. It's fine if we hear it, but if big brother hears it, he might get angry. I know. Zhao and Shui answered impatiently. The three of them walked towards Zhao Yun'er's house. As soon as Zhao Wenshui entered the house, he met Zhao Baoshan's disdainful eyes. Second brother, did you fall into a cesspool or something? Zhao Wenshui smiled embarrassedly. Father, what are you talking about? If I fell into a cesspool, I would be smelly now. Zhao Wenhua explained. Father, second brother drank too much and fell asleep in the cesspool. You guessed it right. Zhao Baoshan rolled his eyes. The more he looked at Zhao Wenshui, the more disdainful he became. He was speechless when he thought that Zhao Wenshui really fell asleep in the cesspool. If you're drunk, then don't drink anymore. Look at what you become. Fortunately, you're at home. If you were anywhere else, you'd be a laughingstock. Zhao Wenshui could only lower his head and let Zhao Baoshan scold him without daring to talk back. He knew that if he dared to talk back, Zhao Baoshan would continue to nag him. Dad, don't say anymore. Second brother drank too much today. He definitely won't do it again. Zhao Wenhua mediated. Zhao Baoshan snorted and didn't say anything else. Zhao and Shui breathed a sigh of relief. When he walked over to the table, he caught a glimpse of Feng Zhangxia. Thinking of what he had just done, Zhao and Shui felt guilty and couldn't help but look at Feng Zhangxia. He didn't know if his sister-in-law would tell his elder brother about this. If his elder brother knew about it, he didn't dare to imagine the consequences. However, Feng Zhangxia felt that Zhao Wenshui was looking at her and had some dirty thoughts. She couldn't help but frown. Her second brother was too much. It was fine if he went out to find other women, but he actually had ideas about her. Was she someone he could covet? No. No matter what, she couldn't be targeted by Zhao Wenshui. She had to teach Zhao Wenshui a lesson later and see if he still dared to do it. Sister-in-law, what's wrong? Seeing that Liang Jinxiao was suddenly lost in thought, Qian Hongxia patted Feng Zhangxia a few times. No, nothing. Feng Zhangxia came back to her senses and replied weakly. She didn't look good. At the dining table, the men continued to drink wine. However, Zhao Yun'er had made too much food. The men ate until their stomachs burst, but there was still a lot left. Chapter 1674. Zhao Baoshan pointed at the leftover dishes on the table with a look of pity in his eyes. It's okay. It's fine if we can't finish it. It's better than not having enough. It's not easy to make a meal, so we have to make it more sumptuous, Zhao Yun'er said indifferently. She wouldn't feel bad about such a small amount of food. There were so many people who didn't want to keep leftovers. When the men drank, a lot of wine dripped into the dishes. Even if the dishes didn't go bad overnight, she couldn't eat them. Sigh. Zhao Baoshan sighed and felt a little sorry for her. Dad, I can't eat anymore. You guys continue. Zhao Wenhua called out. Zhao Wentao and Zhao Wensher also waved their hands. I can't drink anymore either. I'm too full. Among the men at the table, only Zhao Wenshui was still eating. He ate with gusto and relished in the food. Zhao Baoshan glanced at Zhao Wenshui. He couldn't understand. Zhao Wenshui ate the most tonight. Why was he the only one who could still eat when everyone else was full? Wenshui, aren't you full? Why are you still eating? Zhao Baoshan asked casually. Zhao Wenshui was burying his head in eating. When he heard Zhao Baoshan's words, he raised his head and replied nervously, I'm fine. Zhao Wenshui was afraid that Zhao Baoshan wouldn't let him eat anymore, so he was a little worried. It would be a waste if he didn't finish this table of good food. He finally had a good meal. If he ate today, he wouldn't be able to eat anything good tomorrow, the day after, and for a period of time in the future. Therefore, it was a profit to eat as much as he could. Is that so? Zhao Baoshan's eyes revealed a trace of shock. How big was his second brother's belly? After drinking so much wine and eating so many dishes, he could still continue eating. Zhao Wenshui replied angrily, Yes. Father, I didn't eat too much. I just drank too much wine. I went to the latrine just now and peed. If you don't believe me, you can go and have a try. After peeing, your stomach will be empty and you can continue eating. The men at the table looked at Zhao Wenshui speechlessly. It was really admirable that he could say such vulgar words while eating. Father, there are so many dishes, it would be a waste not to eat them. I'm just helping third brother's family eat more. Zhao Wenshui's mouth twitched as he spoke. Yes, yes, yes. Zhao Baoshan rolled his eyes. Delicious was delicious. Why do you have to come up with so many excuses? Second brother, I think it's better if you eat all the dishes on the table. I can't eat so much. I'll just pick some that I like. Hee hee. Zhao Wenshui smiled and quickly picked out the shredded meat from the stir-fried dishes. After a while, Zhao Wenshui finished most of the leftovers on the table. Zhao Wenshui didn't stop until he couldn't eat anymore. Okay. Father, are we going back after eating? Zhao Wenshui rubbed his hands and said. Zhao Baoshan responded. It was late. They had eaten for more than 2 hours. It was completely dark outside. Let's go. Third brother and the others have to rest well tonight. They're tired from moving. Father, take care. It's dark at night and you can't see the road clearly. Help each other. Got it. Old Zhao's family said and left Zhao Yun's house one after another. After these people left, the house fell into silence. Chapter 1675. Mother, it's so late. Let's wash up tomorrow morning. It's so dark. What if we bump into something? Everyone is tired today. Now that it's dark, it's better to go back to the house and sleep. Liang Jinxiao nodded. It was indeed too tiring today. Everyone needed a rest early. When she was chatting with her sisters-in-law just now, she kept yawning and was very sleepy. All right, then let's wash up tomorrow morning. I remember that there's not much water in our water tank. We have to carry water again tomorrow. Speaking of carrying water, the house was moved to the foot of the mountain. The disadvantage was that it was too far from the river. After carrying water a few times, they would probably be tired. They could only carry 2 buckets of water per trip, which would be used up in a while. It was fine for a day or two, but it was not a solution in the long run. Mother, I think we should dig a well in the yard. It's convenient to use water later. Moreover, Mulan's family can use it with us later. It'll save them the trouble of carrying water. Zhao Yun suggested to Liang Jinxiao when she thought of the convenience of digging a well. Liang Jinxiao nodded. That's fine. Ask your father to find a few people later. We don't have to carry water in the future. We can wash clothes and vegetables directly at home. Zhao Yun agreed. There were not many families in the village who had wells. Digging a well would cost 1 tael of silver. After all, there were no drilling tools in ancient times. They could only dig by hand, which would take half a month. Adding in the cost of labor and other expenses, it would cost so much money. Ordinary families would not be willing to spend so much money. There were not many families who had wells. After the family washed up, Zhao Yun fell asleep as soon as she got on the bed. After putting a quilt on a new mattress, it was much more comfortable to sleep on than the small heatable brick bed at home. The bed was very big. The family of 3 did not feel crowded when they slept on it. Instead, it was very spacious. It felt like she was sleeping on a 21st century bed. It was more comfortable. The next morning, when Zhao Yun woke up, Liang Jinxiao had already cleaned up the bowls and chopsticks from last night. Zhao Yun couldn't help but ask, Mother, why are you so busy? You didn't even greet me. Liang Jinxiao smiled softly and said, Haha, it's okay. There aren't too many bowls and chopsticks. It's not tiring to be busy. Mother saw that you were sleeping soundly, so how could I wake you up? You were too tired yesterday. Zhao Yun sighed helplessly. Her cheat mother was like this. She liked to take on all the work herself. After breakfast, Zhao Yun went to Mulan's house. Yesterday, Zhao Yun's family was busy moving, but Mulan didn't move. Instead, she moved today. Mulan's family had more things than Zhao Yun's family, but Mulan's family had a lot of people. Her brother, Zhao Tianan, was not stupid. He took the initiative to help Mulan move. Zhao Yun knew that Zhao Tianan was so diligent because of Mu Hin. Early in the morning, after Mulan's family finished breakfast, they started to tidy up the house. They usually didn't pay attention to the big and small things, but when they really moved, they felt that there were a lot of things. It was originally a happy occasion, but the Moo family's generosity and old lady Moo felt uncomfortable no matter how they looked at it. They felt uncomfortable because they felt that Mulan's family lived in a big house, a good house, while their family had to huddle in a shabby, thatched hut. There was a saying that there was no harm without comparison. If others lived a hard life like you wouldn't feel uncomfortable. If others lived better than you would feel sad and uncomfortable. Chapter 1676. If you knew, you wouldn't have split up in the first place. Now I know why you made such a fuss. Wasn't it because you despised me for being an old woman? Now that you're living a good life, you don't even bring me along. I really raised a son for nothing. He's so unfilial. After Mrs. Zhu finished speaking, Madame Chi added, "That's right, mother. Although we've split up, you're still second brother's mother. No matter what, you have to take care of your own mother. How can second brother not bring you along when he's living in a big house?" Mrs. Zhu snorted softly. If only he had the heart. Why did God let me give birth to such a heartless son? I raised him for nothing all these years. That's right, mother. Our Daniel wouldn't treat you like this. Speaking of which, Daniel is still the best. Daniel is filial. Mrs. Zhu and Madame Chi echoed each other and deliberately said these words to make Zhao Yun feel uncomfortable. However, these two people were just talking. Although Mulan and Zhu Eru felt a little uncomfortable, they ignored Mrs. Zhu. Mrs. Zhu knew very well why they didn't bring Mrs. Zhu along when they were living in a big house. Zhu Eru knew how to be filial, and he knew how to dote on his child and wife. He remembered how his mother had treated Mulan and Erhua back then. In order to prevent Mulan and their child from being bullied, he could only treat his mother coldly. Seeing that Zhu Eru was moving all of a sudden, Zhu Daniu also felt uncomfortable. They were both brothers. How could he be happy that his younger brother was living a better life than him? Later on, others would say that he, the older brother, was not as capable as the younger brother. Zhu Daniu's eyes turned. He leaned in front of Zhu Eru and said to him, "Second brother, you're going to live in a big house. You don't want your house anymore, right?" Zhu Eru wasn't sure if he wanted it. Although it was useless now, what if he needed it in the future? He then replied to Zhu Daniu, "Big brother, why are you asking this?" Zhu Daniu smiled and said, "Didn't I find a job for third brother?" Third brother had already accepted more than a dozen people in the village to teach children how to read and write. Seeing that he was about to be taught, he had to find a place. The other houses are all occupied. Your house is just right for third brother to use. When Zhu Eru heard this, he fell in a deep thought. He had heard of this before, but he didn't know how his big brother came up with this idea. With his third brother's character, if he were to teach, he might even ruin the child. But it was hard for him to say. Compared to Zhu Sanlu staying at home and not doing anything, finding such a job for Zhu Sanlu was indeed a good idea. Zhu Eru replied, "All right then, big brother. I'll leave the room to third brother." "That's good." Zhu Daniu felt much better. Now that the place was bigger, he could take in a few more children. Relying on this, they could make a lot of money. When they accumulated more money, they could also build a big house. At that time, they wouldn't have to envy the second branch. If they built a big house, their lives would be as comfortable as the second branch. It was useless to be jealous of the second branch now. If they had the time, they might as well think about how to earn more money. Zhu Daniu was still very confident about making a fortune by letting Zhu Sanlu teach children how to read and write. Chapter 1677. When it was close to noon, Mulan's family had finally finished moving and were preparing to rest and prepare some food for a good meal. Unexpectedly, Mulan's maternal family came. It was Mu Dade, Old Lady Mu, and Mulan's stepmother, Luo Fu. The three of them walked over. Mu Dade and Old Lady Mu were fine and did not feel tired after walking for a few miles. However, Luo Fu was fat and could not stand the torment. When she reached Mulan's house, she was so tired that she could barely breathe. When Old Lady Mu reached the family Ju's courtyard, she shouted at the top of her lungs, "Last Lana, or come out! Come out!" Mulan came out of the house with a frown. She was about to tidy up some small things in the kitchen and move them to the new house when the Mu family came. She frowned in displeasure and asked Old Lady Mu and Mu Dade, "Grandma, Dad, what are you doing here?" Old Lady Mu snorted. "What's wrong? We can't come. Have you forgotten who gave birth to you and raised you? Why are you complaining when your maternal family comes?" Mulan's mouth twitched. "Why are you here for no reason? Why didn't you come here before?" Needless to say, they must be up to no good. The past is the past. The present is the present. What's wrong with coming here now? Lass, how can you say that? You're so infuriating. Old Lady Mu spat on the ground and glared at Mulan. Mulan rolled her eyes and said mildly, "Grandma, Dad, just tell me what you're here for. You don't have to beat around the bush." Mu Dade smiled embarrassedly. "Last Lana, it's really nothing. Your grandma just wanted to see you, see how you're doing now." Mu Dade's smile was filled with guilt, and he did not dare to look into Mulan's eyes. Old Lady Mu put her hands on her hips and said, "Yes, we're here to see how you're doing now. I heard that your family built a new house. Is this true? A new house? Why didn't you bring me and your father to have a look?" Mulan was too lazy to pay attention to Old Lady Mu and Mu Dade. She knew that they were up to no good. "Hey, you Mulan's grandmother? I'm Mulan's sister-in-law. You're right. My second sister-in-law's family is living a good life now. They did build a new house and just moved in today. The new house is made of bricks and tiles. It's magnificent. It's much better than our family Zhu's current thatched hut." When Madame Chi saw that the Mu family was here to pick a fight, she immediately ran to the front of the Mu family and fanned the flames behind them. She could not wait to stir up more waves. Sure enough, when Old Lady Mu heard this, she said to Mulan, "You really built a new house. You didn't even tell your family about such a big thing. Lass, you're looking down on your family more and more. Don't you know who gave birth to you and raised you?" Mulan was speechless. It was precisely because they were her family that she felt even more embarrassed. Madame Chi watched the show with a smug expression. Her second sister-in-law's life had been too smooth recently, so she had to find trouble for her and make her take a gamble. Chapter 1678. Little girl, what are you talking about? What do you mean it has nothing to do with us? Are you really rich and capable? You don't care about your family anymore? Let me tell you, no matter what, you have to take us to your new house to take a look. Since your family is doing so well, and your father didn't raise you easily, hurry up and take out some money to show filial piety to your father. Otherwise, we won't leave today. Old Madame Mu stood in Mulan's courtyard with the intention of causing trouble. If she didn't get some benefits from her today, she probably wouldn't let it go. "What are you doing?" Mulan asked coldly. "Why are you asking me for money? Why should I give it to you?" "Because you are a member of the Mu family. Your father gave birth to you and raised you, so you have to be filial." Old Madame Mu's attitude was very tough. Mulan was fuming with anger. Last time, they made a scene on the street. This time, they came directly to her house. They refused to leave, and she was the one who was annoyed. For the first time, she felt that her family was so thick-skinned. "If you don't want to leave, then I won't leave. Just stay here." Mulan turned around angrily and left with the wooden bucket. Old Madame Mu was stunned and quickly caught up with Mulan. "What are you doing? Where are you going?" Mulan flung Old Lady Mu's hand away. "Why do you care where I'm going or what I'm doing? Just wait here." Old Madame Mu was furious. This damn girl. She was determined not to give them any benefits. "You damn girl, stop right there. You're not allowed to leave." Mulan ignored her. Old Madame Mu went forward and grabbed Mulan's arm. Mulan wasn't easy to bully. She pushed Old Madame Mu out. Old Madame Mu lost her balance and knocked on a stone beside her. Her forehead immediately bled. She didn't know if it was because Old Madame Mu knocked too hard, but the blood on her head didn't stop flowing and kept flowing out. When Mu Dade saw this, he immediately panicked. He rushed to Old Lady Mu and helped her up. He asked Old Lady Mu, "Mother, what's wrong with you? Are you okay?" Is it serious? Old Madame Moo cried out in pain. I can't, hurt so much. My head almost broke. As she cried out, old Madame Moo reached out and touched her forehead. She touched it was bleeding. Seeing the blood, old Madame Moo felt that it was a psychological effect. Her forehead, I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding, I'm not dying, right? Moo Dade hurriedly comforted her. It's all right, Mother. She definitely won't die. Mother, hold on. I'll get you a doctor to check on you. Milan turned around and glanced at Old Lady Moo. She originally thought that Old Lady Moo was faking it, but after taking a look, she realized that there was indeed a large wound on Old Lady Moo's forehead. Blood was flowing out, and there was a faint smell of blood in the air. Look, you're bleeding so much. What if something big happens? Mulan hesitated. She thought that if something happened to old Madame Moo, she would be in trouble. She didn't want to be so heavy-handed. She just accidentally let old Madame Moo touch her. Okay, I'll go now, Mulan answered. It was best to get a doctor to see her in order to prevent her from dying. Chapter 1679. Old Lady Moo muttered, how would I know that this damned girl would be so ruthless? She actually hit me. She's really angering me to death. AI. Mother, there's no point in saying this now. Your head needs to be treated quickly. You've lost so much blood all of a sudden. Your body will definitely be very weak when you return. You have to properly recuperate when you get home. Otherwise, your blood won't come back up, Moo Dade said with concern. No matter how bad Old Lady Moo was, she was still his mother. Luo Tsiu, who had been watching from the side, rolled her eyes as if she had thought of something. She ran over to Old Lady Moo and pretended to be concerned as she asked, Mother, how are you? Does it hurt a lot? Didn't you see such a big wound? Of course it hurts. I'll hit you. You know once you try? Luo Tsiu gave a fawning smile. Mother, I don't have any other intentions. I'm just concerned about you. Mother, you're too pitiful. I think that Lana girl is too much. This is her fault. How can a junior hit an elder like this? That's right. Mother, I remember that our Dezhou country's laws say that if a descendant hits an elder, it's considered unfilial and they'll have to go to jail. It's fine if it's a small injury, but with such a serious injury on your forehead, you can definitely go to the government and sue her. Reminded by Luo Tsiu, Old Lady Moo nodded and said, Indeed, I'll go to the government and sue this girl for treating me like this. Moo Dade mediated. Mother, Lana girl didn't do it on purpose. How can a family be so calculative? I think we should just forget about this matter. Old Lady Moo glared at Moo Dade in displeasure. Forget it. How can we forget about this matter? I say, Dade, is there something wrong with your head? Girl clearly pushed me on purpose. Moo Dade was scolded into silence. Luo Tsiu continued, Mother, actually letting Lana girl off this time isn't a big deal. I think, Mother, you can use this matter to threaten Lana girl and make her give you more money as compensation. Isn't it better to spend some money on you than to let her go to jail and suffer a jail sentence? Old Lady Moo was suddenly enlightened by Luo Tsiu. Why didn't she think of this? Old Lady Moo hurriedly praised Luo Tsiu. My dear wife, your brain is still the best. Mother is old. My brain is not as bright as before. Luo Tsiu smiled. Mother, that's not true. No matter how I compare, I can't compare to Mother. Old Lady Moo calculated in her heart. This wretched girl, she hurt me so badly. I definitely can't let her off easily. I have to make her compensate me more money. I'm afraid that the injury on my head won't heal in a day or two. You won't be able to do anything at home. In my opinion, why don't I just stay at her house and let her serve me until the injury on my head is healed? All these years, I've been living in a small mud house. Now it's my turn to experience what it's like to live in a big house. Luo Tsiu hurriedly followed behind and said, Yes, Mother, that's a good plan. Dade and I will stay with you and take care of you together. Yes, all three of us will stay. Mother, this won't do, right? Moo Dade felt that something was amiss. How could he trick Mulan like this? Chapter 1680. Mother. Muday didn't know what to say. His mother was used to being domineering, so he basically listened to her in everything. All right, Dade, don't say any more. I'll make my own decision. After all, I'm the one who got hurt. Luo Tsuyu wiped her mouth and said, Sigh. Muday had no choice but to stop talking. After a while, Mulan brought Dr. Sun over. Dr. Sun, this is my grandmother. Please take a look at her. Dr. Sun nodded and said, Okay. With that, Dr. Sun squatted in front of Old Lady Mu and checked her wound. This injury isn't light, but fortunately, it's just a little bit of blood. It's not a big deal. You just need to recuperate and eat something to replenish your blood. After hearing Dr. Sun's words, Mulan breathed a sigh of relief. It was fine as long as she didn't die. If Old Lady Mu died, then she would be charged with murder. This was a big crime that she couldn't bear. She couldn't implicate herself because of the shameless Mu family. It wasn't worth it. Mother, the doctor said you're fine. Muday said. Old Lady Mu held her forehead and pretended to be in pain. Fine? How can I be fine? My head hurts a lot now. Loner, I'm telling you, you have to be responsible for what happened today. Otherwise, I'll go to the government and sue you for being unfilial and let you go to jail. Mulan frowned. Was Old Lady Mu threatening her? Compensation? What kind of compensation do you want? Mulan asked unhappily. Old Lady Mu rolled her eyes. I'm injured like this today. You have to compensate me with at least 10 taels of silver, right? I'll be staying at your house for a while. You should buy more food to replenish my blood and nourish my body. Mulan was furious when she heard Old Lady Mu's words. 10 taels of silver? Why don't you go and rob? You'd be faster if you did. You want to extort so much money from me? Are you asking for too much? Old Lady Mu was once again angered by Mulan. She angrily pointed at Mulan and said, Fine. You refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. If you don't give me the money, I'll go to the government office to sue you. You'll suffer later. Mulan smirked. Grandma, go ahead and sue me. Anyway, I can't take out so much money. Even if you force me to death, I can't take it out. Why don't I go to jail? You. Old Lady Mu was so angry that she couldn't speak. She originally wanted to use this to threaten Mulan, but Mulan didn't seem to care at all. So what was there to threaten? Glancing at Old Lady Mu on the ground, Mulan sneered and said, Father, I advise you to quickly bring grandmother back, or else I will continue to attack. Old Lady Mu scowled and scolded. What did you say? You still want to attack me? Mulan shrugged. Yes, I still want to take a knife and stab you a few more times. Anyway, you've already gone to the government office to sue me. I don't mind getting hurt more. If you suffer more, it'll be my gain. Old Lady Mu was intimidated by Mulan's cold gaze. Crazy, crazy. Dade, she's crazy. Muday frowned. He looked at Mulan, then at Old Lady Mu, and advised, Mother, we'd better leave quickly, in case Last Lawn really attacks. Who knows if she'll hurt you even more this time. Old Lady Mu's heart turned cold. Her forehead was already badly injured. If Mulan really continued to attack her, she would definitely lose her life. Chapter 1681. Old Lady Mu tugged at Muday and said, Go, go, go. Hurry up and take me away. Okay, Mother. Muday said as he helped Old Lady Mu up from the ground. Luo Tsuyu also thought that Mulan had gone crazy. It was possible to discuss some things with normal people, but there was no room for discussion with a crazy person. What was the point of sacrificing their lives for a bit of money? Mulan's eyes flashed coldly as she watched the three of them flee in a fluster. Some people really couldn't be courteous with. The more courteous they were, the more insatiable they would be. On the contrary, if one's attitude was too strong, they wouldn't dare to say anything more. However, although the Mu family had left, the worry in Mulan's heart did not dissipate. She always felt that the Mu family was not so easy to deal with and might come back again. At that time, it would be another troublesome matter. Sigh. Mulan sighed, not knowing what to say. Mulan carried the wooden bucket somewhat dejectedly and continued to walk towards her big house. Fortunately, Mu Hin was not around. Otherwise, he would be worried with her. When old Madame Zhu saw Mulan's fierce behavior, she couldn't help but be speechless. Wasn't this Mulan too lawless? She could even do this to her own grandmother. Seeing old Lady Mu's bleeding head, Mrs. Zhu was frightened. Thinking about how she usually spoke to Mulan like that, Mulan was still polite to her. Otherwise, wouldn't she end up like old Lady Mu and end up in such a miserable state? How did our old Zhao family marry such a shrewish daughter-in-law? We are so unlucky. I'm so angry. Will she kill me one day, too? Shrew, shrew. Mrs. Zhu stood in the courtyard and kept muttering. Madame Qi went up to Mrs. Zhu and said to Mrs. Zhu, "Mother, isn't that so? Second sister-in-law is too scary. Look at how ruthless she is. That woman is crazy. Sigh, it seems that I shouldn't provoke her, lest I get beaten up so badly." Thinking of old Lady Mu's bloody head, Mrs. Zhu shuddered. On the other hand, Ma Xiaofeng was getting better after resting at home for a while. She was able to get up and walk around. Ma Xiaofeng stayed at home for a whole morning. Seeing that Ma Xiaoyu hadn't come back yet, she was a little anxious and went out to look for her. Something must have happened since she hadn't been home for such a long time. She only had one brother, so she could not let anything happen to Ma Xiaoyu. On the way out to look for Ma Xiaoyu, he happened to bump into the Mu family. Old Lady Mu kept on scolding along the way. "I say, babe, look at your two good daughters. Mulan is an unfilial one. Not only did she not give me money, she even hit me. Mu Xin is also disobedient. Everyone says that the parents' orders are the words of the matchmaker. She has to marry whoever she is arranged to marry." Mu Dade lowered his head and said, "Sigh, mother, don't say any more." Lan, and Xn, had no choice. Old Lady Mu glared at Mu Dade. "You only know how to speak up for those two wretched girls. Dade, aren't you worried about mother? Look at the wound on my head. It's so infuriating." Luo Tsuyu agreed. "That's right, mother. I think Mulan is too much. She doesn't care about mother at all. We came here for nothing this time. We worked ourselves to death and walked a few miles to get here, but we didn't get anything." Chapter 1682. Mother, there's no other way. We just can't get it or fight for it. Let's just forget about it. What if the next time we come over like today, we'll suffer a huge loss? Luo Tsuyu thought about it and persuaded her mother. Even if the Mu family really made a fuss next time, she wouldn't come over. Walking back and forth twice was really tiring. She was so fat that she couldn't stand the torment at all. Now, she was panting heavily after taking a few steps. "Wife, what you said makes sense, but I just can't accept it." She gave birth to a daughter, and the daughter only cared about her family. She saw that our Dade gave birth to her. Sure enough, a daughter shouldn't be raised. It's a waste of food. But I didn't see Mu Hin today. Mother, is Mu Hin at Mulan's house? Didn't you say that girl's temper is better than Mulan's? If we start with her, will it? Luo Tsuyu muttered. Old Lady Mu nodded. Mu Hin's temper is indeed much better, but she's staying at Mulan's house now. What do we get from her? We should start with Mulan. As they were talking, Ma Xiaofeng heard about Mulan and Mu Hin. She also sorted out the meaning of the Mu family's words. They wanted to get some benefits from Mulan and her sister. She immediately came up with a plan and went up to the Mu family. "Are you Mulan and Mu Hin's family?" Ma Xiaofeng asked. Old Lady Mu glanced at Ma Xiaofeng and asked, "Who are you?" Ma Xiaofeng smiled and introduced herself. "I'm from this village. I heard you talking about them just now, so I wanted to have a chat with you." "What do you want to talk about?" "What do we have to talk about with you?" Old Lady Mu retorted in annoyance. Ma Xiaofeng smiled embarrassedly. "There's really nothing to talk about with me, but after listening to your words, I just want to remind you that you actually have a way to get the money." Old Lady Mu pondered for a while and stared at Ma Xiaofeng. "What way? Tell me." Ma Xiaofeng chuckled. Actually what? Haven't you heard? Mu Hin is getting married, and it's the richest family in our village. They've built more than 10 houses. They have as much money as they want. It was estimated that they would have to hold their wedding soon. Since you are her maiden family, could it be that she didn't discuss such a big matter with you? I think they'll give a lot. After Ma Xiaofeng finished speaking, Old Lady Moo's eyes lit up. Miss, are you telling the truth? You're not lying to us, are you? Ma Xiaofeng pursed her lips and smiled. Why would I lie to you? You could just ask around in the village and you'll know. Old Lady Moo nodded and replied, That's true. You don't have to lie to us. After Old Lady Moo finished speaking, she turned to Moo Dade and said, Dade, did you hear that? Moo Hin's life is so good that she's going to marry into a rich family. These two girls are getting more and more out of hand. Don't tell me that Moo Hin's marriage doesn't need to be discussed with us. It's her parents' orders and her matchmaker's words. Even if we don't force her, we don't have to agree to who she wants to marry. If they want to take Moo Hin back, they have to give us a betrothal gift. Otherwise, we'll go and make a scene. This time, we can at least get some money back to live a good life. Chapter 1683. Moo Dade felt a little guilty towards Moo Hin after what happened last time. Now that Moo Hin had finally found a good family to marry, how could he have the nerve to continue causing trouble? Old Lady Moo did not think so. What's wrong with this? This is how it should be. Dade, you're Moo Hin's daughter. When your daughter gets married, shouldn't the groom discuss it with you? If the betrothal gifts aren't for you, are they going to be sent to Mulan? That wretched girl will benefit for nothing. Moo Dade frowned. He still felt that something was wrong. Mother, all right, I'll decide on this matter. Don't say anything else. In any case, we can't let those two girls benefit. Old Lady Moo said angrily. Today, she had a big cut on her forehead. She had to heal it no matter what. Mother, if we really want to decide on this matter, let's go back today first. Your head injury is so serious. It's not good for us to go to someone's house. We'll come over and discuss it with the groom another day. What do you think? Old Lady Moo nodded. That's fine. My head feels like it's about to explode. I have to hurry back and rest and recuperate. Moo Dade heaved a sigh of relief. Coaxing Old Lady Moo back home was the most important thing for now. Before leaving, Old Lady Moo took Ma Xiaofeng's hand and said gratefully, Girl, thank you so much. Thank you for reminding us. Ma Xiaofeng smiled. Granny, you're too polite. I'm just reminding you that it's fine. You're so kind. Good people will be rewarded. Aha, it's okay. Then we'll leave first. Okay, take care. Ma Xiaofeng waved at the Moo family. Looking at the Moo family's departing figures, Ma Xiaofeng's lips curled into a smug and calculating smile. Looking at the Moo family's attitude, they must be greedy. She boasted that Zhao Yun'er's family was rich and powerful, so the Moo family would naturally ask for more betrothal gifts. Previously, Zhao Tianan liked to recommend her, but because her mother asked for 50 taels of silver as a betrothal gift, Zhao Tianan gave up. Then, he slowly hooked up with Moo Hin. If the Moo Hin family were to make a fuss now, they would need a lot of money. Then, Zhao Tianan might not be willing to marry Moo Hin. When that time came, wouldn't she have a chance? It would be best if there was some animosity between Moo Hin and Zhao Tianan. The more she thought about it, the more proud Ma Xiaofeng felt. She was too quick-witted. After going through so many things, she understood that she had to rely on herself to fight for many things. If you don't fight for it, no one will be willing to fight for you. In order to achieve his goal, he would do anything. As long as he succeeded in the end, what did it matter if others said a few words? Putting away the pride in her heart, Ma Xiaofeng remembered today's business. She still had to find her younger brother. After looking around the village, she finally found Ma Xiaoyu in the fields outside the village. Because there was nothing to eat at home, and Ma Xiaoyu was a child, she couldn't run to town or Yang City to buy food, so she went to the fields outside to dig for some wild vegetables. Children in the countryside could basically recognize some wild vegetables. Children from poor families were able to take care of the household early. Ma Xiaofeng and Ma Xiaoyu lost their father when they were young, so it was even more so. Ma Xiaoyu dug for wild vegetables the whole morning, and her basket was almost full. Just as she was about to carry the basket home, a few children suddenly ran in front of Ma Xiaoyu and pushed her into the rice field. Chapter 1684. Her face and hair were also covered in mud. She was filthy. Ma Xiaoyu did not cry. Instead, she got up from the paddy field and glared angrily at the children who had pushed her into the paddy field. What are you doing? Why did you push me? Ma Xiaoyu questioned. The children giggled and stuck their tongues out at Ma Xiaoyu. What's wrong with pushing you? You're a child with no father to teach you. Hee, your mother and sister aren't good people, so you're not a good person either. My mother also said that your whole family is shameless. The old ones are bad, the young ones are bad too. You're a bad person, so we're here to teach you a lesson. Yes, we'll teach you a good lesson. The naughty brats humiliated Ma Xiaoyu, laughing as they spoke. Ma Xiaoyu's face darkened when she heard that. She said angrily to the children, No, it's not like what you said. What do you mean it's not like what we said? That's what my father and mother said. That's right. My parents said the same thing. Ma Xiaoyu pouted angrily and argued. My mother and sister are not bad people. I'm not a bad person either. Don't talk nonsense. I'll beat you up if you keep talking. Haha, you dare to beat us up? There's so many of us. Can't we beat you? Everyone, beat him to death. He's a bad child. He wants to bully us. Yes, beat him up. Ma Xiaoyu clenched her fists. When she saw the children rushing over, she also started fighting with them. However, he was only one person and was outnumbered. Soon, he was pinned to the ground and beaten by the children. When Ma Xiaofeng went over, she happened to see Ma Xiaoyu being beaten up. Seeing that Ma Xiaoyu's face was bruised and swollen, Ma Xiaofeng's heart tightened. She rushed over and pushed away the children who were surrounding Ma Xiaoyu. What are you doing? Who told you to be so cruel at such a young age? Go back and look for your parents. Ma Xiaofeng reprimanded angrily. However, the children were used to being naughty. How could they be afraid of Ma Xiaofeng's threat? So be it. We didn't hit the wrong person. Your whole family is bad people, so it's only right to beat you up. Yes, you should be her. My mother said that your family likes to seduce men. You shouldn't have stayed in the village. When Ma Xiaofeng heard this, she couldn't control her anger. Fine. How dare you scold others and spout nonsense? If your parents don't educate you, I will help them educate you. As Ma Xiaofeng spoke, she rolled up her sleeves and prepared to beat him up. The kids were smart. They knew that Ma Xiaofeng was bigger than them, so they probably couldn't beat her. They all ran away like a gust of wind. Ma Xiaofeng couldn't catch up with them. After a while, the children who bullied Ma Xiaofeng ran away. Ma Xiaofeng didn't chase after them. However, she couldn't get rid of the anger in her heart. Thinking of the children's words, Ma Xiaofeng knew that the villagers were still talking behind their backs about what had happened to their family, especially the gossipy women. They liked to talk about other people's faults and made fun of them. Their family wouldn't be able to raise their heads in the village. Ma Xiaofeng felt like there was something pressing down on her heart. She felt like she couldn't breathe. Chapter 1685. Sob, 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 sob. Ma Xiaofeng rushed to Ma Xiaoyu when she saw her crying pitifully. She asked Ma Xiaoyu, Xiaoyu, what's wrong? Are you in pain? Let me take a look. Ma Xiaoyu shook her head. Sis, I'm fine. Then why are you crying? Sob, sob, sob. Sis, they're scolding me, you and Mom. I feel terrible when I hear that. Sob, 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 sis, they're too much. Ma Xiaofeng sighed when she heard that. How could she feel good about it? Ma Xiaofeng patted the back of Ma Xiaoyu's hand and said, Xiaoyu, let's not listen to what others say. It's fine as long as we know what we're like. Ma Xiaoyu answered in a voice as soft as a mosquito's. Ma Xiaofeng's heart ached when she saw her younger brother being bullied to this extent. She quickly comforted Ma Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu, let's bear with it a little longer. Trust me, I'll definitely lead you and Mom to a good life. I'll never let you be bullied again. Since they couldn't stay in the village any longer, she had to think of a way. If they had the money, they could move out of the village and live in Yang City or a town. No one would recognize them, and they wouldn't say such things again. She was fine with it, mainly because she couldn't accept it when she saw others bullying Ma Xiaofeng and her younger brother. Ma Xiaoyu was already exhausted from taking care of them as a young child. Now, she had to endure the bullying and scolding of the other children in the village. Sob, sob, sob. Ma Xiaoyu sobbed and wiped away the tears at the corners of her eyes. She looked very sad. Ma Xiaofeng tugged at Ma Xiaoyu's hand and said, "All right, Xiaoyu, let's go. Let's go home. You're injured. I'll treat it for you. Also, your clothes are dirty. You'll have to change quickly." Ma Xiaoyu answered and tidied up the wild vegetables that she had dug. Ma Xiaofeng sighed. Although she wasn't the one who was injured this time, she felt even sadder. Mulan went to the house on the mountain. Seeing Mulan in a daze, Zhao Yun'er went up to her and asked with concern, "Sister-in-law Mulan, what's wrong?" Mulan was slightly stunned. She snapped back to her senses and pursed her lips. It's nothing. It's obvious that you're lying. How can you say that it's nothing?" Zhao Yun'er glanced at Mu. She knew that when she was a liar, she would always blink her eyes listlessly. Mulan sighed and told him what had happened earlier. When Zhao Yun'er heard that, she was very angry. The Mu family, what they doing? She was they now question mark. She sympathized with Mulan's experience. At the same time, she agreed with what Mulan had done. Those people had to be taught a lesson when they came to cause trouble. Otherwise, they would not know their place and continue to cause trouble. "Sister-in-law Mulan, tell me the next time they come. I'll use a knife to scare them. Let's see if they're still afraid of death." Zhao Yun'er reminded Mulan. Yes, I know, Yun'er, but I can't trouble you with this. I know how to deal with them myself. The only thing I'm worried about now is that my grandmother and the others will sue me to the authorities. Mulan sighed as she spoke. There was a trace of worry between her brows. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.